31 degrees at 6:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Rose Dalton. Good morning, Carl.
Why is it bad to iron a 4-leaf clover?
Why is it bad to iron a 4-leaf clover? I don't know, Rose. Why is it bad to iron a 4-leaf clover?
Because you should never press your luck.
Which is a great segue to the greatest game on the game show ever on TV, which was Press Your Luck.
I want the music.
No whammies.
Wait, is that the no whammy stop?
Yeah. Did you ever see the documentary on that guy?
Yes.
No. Wait.
I watched that show while it was happening.
There was a guy, there's a documentary, and the guy figured out the computer
algorithm for the whammy?
The rhythm of the...
It was a pattern.
Yeah, it was a pattern.
No.
And he killed it. I mean, just killed it. And won all sorts of ridiculous amounts of money.
It was the record-setting prize at the time.
Yeah.
And they had to cut it up into 2 shows. I remember I was a server. I was an altar boy, and I came back from serving, and that was on the TV because it was 9 o'clock mass, and it was on at 9:30 on Channel 4. And I watched it live.
Yeah.
And they said, and then Peter Tarko, the host said, "We'll be back with part 2 of this tomorrow."
Yeah, the guy who just kept going.
Because normally it fits in a 27-minute show.
Oh, because he kept
winning.
Now, did he play along, do the whole, like, when he would press it, like, no whammy, no whammy? Or was he confident that he knew he was...
He do the whole... Yeah, no, he played along.
And the producers found out in real time that he was gaming the system.
Yeah, he wasn't cheating.
Nope. It's their fault.
He just figured out the pattern of the lights and knew when to hit and when not to hit so that the whammy wouldn't come up.
Fantastic. Did he get to keep his winnings?
Yes.
I think it had a tragic end somewhere along the way.
It did.
Yeah, I forget what
he
happened.
Was banned from all game shows.
That is tragic.
Which is so funny because, right, if you win at the casino, they don't let you in. If anybody ever wins at sports gambling, they won't let you in, right? You know, you're too good. You can't play. So, all right. So we got lots to get to today, including Gene Simmons is in the news.
Yay.
He heard us talking about his fake hair last night, and he's upset. Also, he wants royalties for singers and not necessarily just songwriters. And so he is testifying in front of Congress. And Stephen Portnoy's got that story. Karen Travers is going to be joining us. Donald Trump had what was supposed to be a campaign rally speech in Pennsylvania last night, turned into a couple of screeds. So we'll get into that with Karen Travers. No word if President Trump came out in a robe looking for his morning paper. Caleb Silver is going to be joining us. The Fed very well could lower interest rates again today, but there's a lot of people saying even if they lower interest rates, 10-year Treasury bills will go up. We'll get into that with Caleb. Randy Carricker is going to join us. Tough night out at Enterprise Center last night. The Blues lose 2-1.
No, 5-2.
Oh, 5-2. I'm sorry. It was 2-1 when I went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were winning 1-0.
Okay. And then Randy Carricker is going to join us about a little baseball movement. Kyle Schwarber gets 5 years, $150 million.
To DH.
To DH. Which, what?
Your hand on the... Do you hear that? Because you're touching the mic.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, what is that?
Edwin Diaz gets 3 years, $70 million to pitch 1 inning. Good work if you can get it. Miller Furniture is going to be on. We got to talk to him. Emma Clues is going to join us from Great Rivers Greenway, so we got lots to get to there. I was at the Great Rivers Greenway meeting yesterday, and...
Did she say, see you tomorrow?
She said, see you tomorrow. Now, what's interesting is they were discussing the road, I think, is it Sarah Street, or maybe it's the beginnings of Clayton Road? That goes under Kings Highway into Forest Park, okay, right by BJC, okay, right? It's a 2-lane road that goes into the park there on the
And it's a one-way road, and people always get caught there.
Yes, yeah. So it's a 2-lane road going under Kings Highway into the park. And then as soon as you enter the park, it becomes a one-way road going the opposite way.
Center, yeah.
Yes. For 15 yards. And then
by Steinberg.
Right by Steinberg.
Yeah.
That's the first entrance.
Right, yeah. And then, so you're only allowed to then veer to the right, and then you're not allowed to make a U-turn.
No.
And so one of the most perplexing intersections in all of St. Louis is it's a 2-lane road going in, and it's a 2-lane road going out. But for about 15 yards there, it's only one way.
And it only benefits the people leaving the hospital.
Well, if you leave the hospital, the only thing you're allowed to do is go up to Kings Highway. You can't go through the park legally.
Right.
Yeah. It's one of the most bizarre intersections in all of St. Louis. And I asked this question last night as to something. They were talking about a bike path, and I asked the other question, why am I not allowed to go straight there? And everyone sort of scoffed at me, and they're like, okay, any real questions?
We had this discussion 10 years ago.
What a bizarre intersection.
I'm still trying to picture it. Why am I not? It's like the one that. So if I'm on Kings Highway,
You've described everything about it perfectly.
Okay, so I'm because like
it
I'm
goes
just going.
under
That's
Kings
why,
Highway.
Okay, so I'm missing. That's the one I'm.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I'm with you now because I
Yeah.
never go that far because I always make. Then you just
You go
instead
to
you
Kings
go,
Highway.
before going under Kings Highway, you make that left and then go up and then go to Kings Highway.
Right, yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
So-
such a bizarre, but it's for
It's
15
one-
yards. There's a little bit of a curb there, and to go into the park, it's 2-way. If you want to leave the park, it's 2-way.
If you want to go to the hospital.
If you want to go to the hospital, well, and if you're going into the park, the only thing you're allowed to do is then veer right and then up to Steinberg Ice Rink or then circle
To
on
Kings
up to the
Highway.
park. Yeah, or
So-
up to Kings Highway.
Where does it dump you out at? Underneath Kings Highway. Then where does it go? Like into
The
Central
parking
West
lot.
End?
No, the parking lot of the hospital.
Oh, so it's for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you can leave the park, but it's about 15 yards where it's a one-way street. It's so weird. You're like, why don't you just make it two? There's plenty of room. It's just 15 yards where you can't go one way. It's so weird. It's such a weird intersection. So if anybody knows what's going on. Hi, McGraw. It's actually Clayton Avenue, I believe, not Clayton Road. There is a
It's in the
difference.
city.
I apologize. Okay, it's in the city. But it's still one way for 15 yards. One of the very bizarre. I mean, someone explain that. If there was a reason for it, okay, I get it. But and every time I go there, I break the law.
And go forward.
I go forward 15
Was it
15
like
yards.
They put
I
it
break
in
the law.
place and then did all the construction and no one thought to change it or
I don't
something.
know.
Like it just didn't make the transition into
It wasn't always that way. It wasn't always just one way. there.
Liberals.
City dwellers.
Obama.
roads.
Trump.
The roads.
Captain Paul, do you know what intersection we're talking about here?
Where is that again, McGraw?
Okay, never mind. You weren't paying attention. I'm not doing that again. 6:15. Let's check the roads. Early morning roads. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. 270 East is closed between Riverview and the Chain of Rocks Bridge due to an accident with traffic jammed back to Bell Fountain. There's a crash on 70 West at St. Louis Avenue with a stop and go back up to the Musial Bridge. And a couple of construction notes. 2 southbound lanes of 55 are closed from Bayless to Lindbergh until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And the Revis Barracks entrance ramp to southbound 55 is closed until 2 o'clock today. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've issued a First Alert Weather Day for Wednesday due to strong winds, and the strongest winds will be in the morning. We have an wind advisory out from 3 a.m. to noon. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, especially tie down those holiday decorations or bring them on in. Now, it's also going to bring in the cold air. Temperatures around 40 in the morning, fall quickly in the morning into the 30s, and then 30s in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy, windy, and a cold day Wednesday. Thursday, the chill settles in, a high of 39 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Anecdotally, just leaving the house this morning, it is tormatic. The very, very gusty winds, leaves being blown around. They're right, man. Whatever type of Christmas decorations you got out, be very careful. And then, sorry, we're in the studio. We're drawn to the monitor. They're running a picture of a plane landing on a car on a highway in Florida. It was somewhat disturbing, so be careful. All right. Anyway, the point I'm making is watch out and tie yourself down because it is going to be windy today. So, Ted Drew's frozen custard. If you're planning on getting a Christmas tree, make sure that thing's tied down because it is going to be windy today. There is nothing finer than setting up a Christmas tree. Again, the memories. We never really got much presents when we were kids, but they always made sure there was a Christmas tree, right? And there's always ornaments, and opening up the ornaments and remembering past Christmases and past holidays and complaining about why didn't we put this away better last year? Why is it so convoluted? Where's that ornament you gave me last year? How come this doesn't work anymore? All part of the traditions of Christmas. And in those traditions, it's going to get the Christmas tree. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is in a bad mood when they get in the car and drive to Ted Drew's to go pick out a fresh cut Christmas tree. Nobody. It's not possible. Even if you're in a bad mood, you're automatically in a good mood. Then you tie it down, the view of the car with the Christmas tree on the top, driving back to the house, it's all part of it. Ted Drew's has been a part of those holiday traditions and holiday memories for coming up on 100 years, and they continue today. So they're going to run out of trees at some point. They do every year. So get to Ted Drew's, a Christmas tree, a wreath, throw in a frozen custard or two, and you got yourself a great afternoon. Ted Drew's, we'll see you there. Fresh cut Christmas trees, a St. Louis tradition on Chippewa. Ted Drew's.
Hey, Thursday, the Carney Show goes to Old House in Hog Hollow in Chesterfield, and I'd love it if you join us. I mean, they got great food, they got great wine, wonderful atmosphere, and me being really loud. Julie will be there, of course, being kind and considerate.
Located at 14319 Olive Boulevard in Chesterfield. Celebrate your next event at Old House in Hog Hollow, a beautifully restored historic venue in Chesterfield, Missouri. Perfect for any occasion and exciting public events.
We'll be there noon to 3 on Thursday, but come out to Old House at Hog Hollow anytime.
Yenzer Family Dental has been located in Chesterfield for over 2 decades at the corner of Chesterfield Airport and Long Road in the Chesterfield Valley. Dr. Yenzer has been treating patients for the past 21 years and now welcomes Dr. Andrea Monstero to Yenzer Family Dental. Both doctors, along with the amazing staff, are dedicated to your care and oral health. The entire staff is committed to making your dental care and treatment a safe and successful experience. From the moment you walk in the door, you are treated and welcomed by a friendly and knowledgeable staff and receive care with some of the most advanced dental technology available today. Our goal is to add peace of mind to the friendliness and clinical excellence you can expect from Yenzer Family Dental. Give them a call today at 636-778-3019. They would love to see you soon and will never underestimate the power of a smile. Yenzer Family Dental, 636-778-3019 or yenzerdental.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
Ray's Tree Service wants to remind you that trees naturally enter dormancy as temperatures drop. Trimming during this period minimizes stress on the tree and reduces the risk of disease. Removing dead or crossing branches helps promote better airflow and light penetration, which can enhance the tree, lawn, and landscaping health. Call Ray's Tree Service at 314-821-2665 for a free estimate with one of our qualified arborists, or online at raystreeservice.com.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for Bishop's Post. It's that time of year again, so make sure to get your reservations at Bishop's Post for Christmas and New Year's Eve. They're filling up for holiday parties too, so get those reservations. Bishop's Post, located in Chesterfield at bishopspost.com.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
$622 here, Big 550 KTRS. Okay, so I know President Trump is getting beat up over this affordability issue, and Democrats are trying to make hay with it. Republicans are trying to, right? I get it, okay? It's all part of the gristmill. But can we talk about things that we do that artificially increase the price of the things we buy? Now, what am I talking about? Thank you for asking the question. Can we talk about if affordability were really, really, really a problem for a majority of the people? Wouldn't Instacart cease to exist?
Or DoorDash.
Or, right, any of the Uber or some of these things, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
I mean, when you order food from Instacart, they jack up the prices.
Because you have to pay the guy getting your groceries.
I have done this a few times. There's been a few times where I just didn't feel like going to the super. Whatever. I don't care, right? Whatever. I don't use it very often. But the few times I have used it, I'm like, okay, well, the order is $35.92. And then I go to checkout, and then it's $37.04 because they add the tax and the whatever else, and they go, do you want to pay with Apple Pay? Sure, bing, and the Apple Pay rings up $64, and you're like, wait, how did it jump $20? How did that work? Right? They don't tell you the price until 3 weeks later when you're actually paying the bill. So, Consumer Reports has just done a study, and they have found that these outlets, right? Costco, Kroger, Safeway, Target, among the other ones, have found that Instacart using AI-generated tools can create as much as a 23% increase for customers and a 2 to 5% jump in profits for the stores.
Wait, because they're using AI, they can charge more?
Here's what they do. Experts told Consumer Reports that Instacart is testing customers' price sensitivity. It was confirmed in an email that went rogue and was supposed to go to an executive and ended up going to Consumer Reports. But what they're doing is, do you know how, like, when the Cubs come to town and the Cardinals charge more for a Cubs-Cardinals ticket?
Dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing. And Instacart they call it, what do they call it here? They call it...
Uber calls it surge pricing.
Surge pricing, but it was something rounding up. Oh, smart rounding. Yeah, smart rounding. Whereas, hey, it's the day before Thanksgiving. Let's just jack up the cranberries another $1. Let's just right? Oh, the big football game is this weekend. Let's jack up the beer and the chips and the soda. Wow. Yeah. So they're jacking it up because $1 here, $1 there, you use an Instacart. So as much as we complain about affordability, we're paying significantly more for the convenience of something dropping. And if we're broke, if we're flat broke, and we can't afford our rent, our car payments, our health insurance, well, then how does Instacart exist?
Where's that extra money going?
Right into the pockets of Instacart. Right into the pockets of the
grocery store.
businesses.
The majority of the people that use I don't know if I'm right, but I feel like it's a younger generational thing, because of COVID and all that, and they're the ones utilizing it the most.
I would argue that is probably I would agree with that.
And then maybe the affordability is also too, like, why is Instacart not more affordable? Not maybe I shouldn't use Instacart and go buy my groceries, but why is Instacart so expensive?
Right. Why are you complaining about the cost of Instacart? That's like complaining about my Starbucks coffee's too much.
Right. Like, it's almost like that it's not entitled, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So what? Of course I have of course DoorDash. Like, I have food delivered to my door.
It's my constitutional right to use use Instacart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like a convenience store, the prices in a convenience store are higher.
Yeah.
This is just the next step of convenience
why
store.
is that legal? Why the price
What
gouging?
legal? Do anything you want.
That's what I mean. Like, why?
Do you want to charge $70 for a tuna sandwich? Go ahead.
Free market.
That's called supply and demand. And but so when they keep complaining about affordability, I look at the Instacart numbers, and if the Instacart numbers start going, if there's a story a week from now that says Instacart's in dire trouble because no one's using them because prices are so high, then you got something on affordability. But until Instacart goes away, right? It's like, how do they judge the economy? FedEx and UPS, right? When you stop shipping things, that's a sign that the economy is in trouble. And I'm not saying that there's not one person out there who doesn't do Instacart. They'd like to, but they can't afford it. I'm talking collectively. It seems like enough people are doing well enough to use Instacart. Enough people have their property taxes frozen because they can't afford property taxes, so they can afford Instacart. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Like, Instacart's now the new measure of our
Right.
economics.
Like they need these affordable care subsidies because, by golly, Uber pricing is going through the roof, and I got to pay for Uber. Right. That's the point I'm making. Is that there's enough people clearly doing well enough to have their groceries jacked up 20 to 30%, and don't want to change their habits, don't want to change their behavior.
Right? So it's like a priority issue or something.
Right. Stop complaining, and if you can't pay your rent, maybe cut out your Instacart budget or your Starbucks budget. Right? 6:29 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul, you sound terrible. What's going on over there?
Well, we're working on fixing it. I
think you're a little better now.
Yeah, he's better now.
Yeah, it sounds like the guys who are working. Sounds like you got Westwood One engineers over there. I'm kidding. I kid because I care.
Turn it off and turn it back
on. Yeah, jiggle it. You should jiggle the thing. That should do it.
I did do that.
There you go. The microphone. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
270 East is open again between Riverview and the Chain of Rocks Bridge due to an accident. There's a crash on 70 West at St. Louis Avenue with the stop and go back up to the Museo Bridge, and a couple of construction notes. 2 southbound lanes of 55 are closed from Bayless to Lindbergh until 2 o'clock this afternoon for road work. And the Revis Barracks entrance ramp to southbound 55 is closed until 2 o'clock today. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, weather-wise for the next couple of days, man, you walk out your house today, it is gusty, blustery winds out there. Gusts could be 20 to 30 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts are possible. So hold on to your bonnet today. High today of 51. Though, as bad as it's going to be here, man, Chicago, they're calling for some serious, serious cold weather. And up in the upper northwest, the Ohio Valley region, up into Canada, there is a winter storm a-brewing. So high of 51 today with plenty of winds. Overnight tonight, low of 25. Tomorrow, we're going to drop down into the 30s. Cloudy for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday, the high is just 20. But again, nowhere near what they're going to get just a couple of hours north. Right now, it is 49 degrees, blustery, cold winds out there. Be careful. 6:30. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Dozens of people have been killed in a drone strike against Sudan's largest oil processing facility carried out by the Sudanese armed forces. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces says the oil field in Heglig was attacked a day after the RSF seized the facility near the border with South Sudan. The exact number of dead and wounded could not immediately be confirmed. Local news outlets reported 7 tribal leaders and dozens of RSF troopers were killed. The Supreme Court is taking up an appeal from Alabama, which wants to put to death a man who lower federal courts found is intellectually disabled and shielded from execution. The justices are hearing arguments Wednesday in a case that could make it harder for convicted murderers to show their lives could be spared because they are intellectually disabled. The Supreme Court prohibited execution of intellectually disabled people in a landmark ruling in 2002. Joseph Clifton Smith, 55, has been on death row roughly half his life after his conviction for beating a man to death in 1997. The issue in Smith's case is what happens in borderline cases of intellectual disability. Netflix is the target of a class action lawsuit over its plans to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount has launched a hostile takeover attempt after losing a bidding war to Netflix, even though the board at Warner Brothers Discovery already accepted the Netflix offer of $28 a share. Now a Las Vegas resident is getting involved as well, taking legal action, alleging the pending deal risks irreparable antitrust injury to consumers. And former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan is asking President Trump for a pardon of his federal corruption conviction. Madigan recently filed a clemency petition with the Office of the Pardon Attorney. The Chicago native is currently serving a 7.5-year sentence in federal prison after being convicted earlier this year on charges of conspiracy, wire fraud, and bribery. 51 degrees. Time now is 6:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Dalco Home Remodeling. And today the roof might be blown off, right? Raise the roof. Holy mackerel. It's going to be bad out there. Look, Dalco is here to help. They've been in St. Louis for 50 years. Think they've got a reputation of doing things right after 50 years of working with St. Louis homeowners? It's DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. Roof, gutters, siding. All three work in conjunction. If you don't have one, you don't have three. Especially now with the gutters and the rain and all the debris from the trees and the berries and the twigs and the leaves and the pines and gets into the gutters. You freeze, you thaw, gets under the roof tiles. You've got yourself a problem. It affects the siding, it affects the roofing, it affects the gutters. Dalco will come in, and their roofing system goes beyond just shingles. Dalco's complete roofing system. Dalco is the name to remember. 50 years in St. Louis, many, many, many years here at the Big 550 KTRS, and a new sponsor to the morning show. So we like to welcome them and give them our stamp of approval. Keep it local. Dalco will work with you. They'll work with your insurance company to make sure it is done right. DalcoHomeRemodeling.com for all the storm damage, including roofing, gutters, siding. Make sure you call Dalco or DalcoHomeRemodeling.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
We've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
This holiday season, if you're looking to give that special client, friend, or family member a gift they won't forget, then how about a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market? Annie Gunn's St. Louis Magazine Restaurant of the Year continues to deliver irresistible cuisine served by the dedicated and knowledgeable staff in a comfortable and inviting setting. The Smokehouse Market, where you can pick up foods and wines inspired by the richness of country life, offers succulent steaks, pork chops, baby back ribs, and an array of imported and domestic cheeses, mustards, olive oils, sauces, pastas, or farm fresh produce. So make this holiday season one to remember with a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market. Stop in or go to AnnieGuns.com. Everyone at Annie Guns and the Smokehouse Market wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Straight Talk and Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. This is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
Not only does everybody have an inner Kiss fandom in them, but they actually have an argument. Gene Simmons making the argument that songwriters get paid. Why not singers? And Stephen Portnoy's got this story. Stephen, how did this come to be?
This is the subject of a long-running debate between artists such as Gene Simmons and the entire music industry versus the owners of radio stations, such as this one, perhaps, and others all across the country. You just played that bumper music to introduce this segment. Did you know that Gene Simmons wants you to pay for that? Now, there's already, as you mentioned, McGraw, a long-standing regime under the law in this country that dates back many decades, really to the founding of our business, that when music is performed on the radio, when a recording is played, that the songwriter, the composer, gets a royalty. You may have heard of ASCAP, BMI. Those are the clearinghouses for publishers of music. And it gets back to the days when radio stations would hire big bands and have them perform copyrighted works. Well, each individual performance involved the playing of something that was copyrighted, the sheet music, and therefore the person who wrote that music would get the money. But once the platters started getting introduced in the 1950s, really, it was understood that the performance was a promotion, that the artist made money on the sale of those records and on going on tour. And that has worked for promoting artists ever since. And musicians such as Gene Simmons and others that he would point to have made a ton of money based on the promotion that they got on free radio airplay. Now, the question today is, in 2025, whether it continues to be fair for there to be an exemption for AM and FM radio in the copyright law versus, for example, the streaming of music. When music is streamed, you know, it's understood the streamer has to pay not just the composer but also the performer. And that's been the law for 30 years. So the question is whether the law should now change to also include fees paid by radio stations for the music they play. And it's a bipartisan demonstration here where you have Marsha Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee, alongside Adam Schiff, Democrat of California, saying that it's time to change the law and have what they call fairness. Now, the other side of the argument is the radio station owners who are saying, wait a minute, hold on a second. Not only has this industry created an enormous market for these musicians to sell their music and made them superstars, not just here, but also all over the world. But, in addition, radio stations provide an essential community service. They provide information, weather, emergency alerts, and creating a new fee that would benefit not just the musicians, but also the record labels, the companies, at a time when they are making record profits and radio seeing its revenues decline isn't fair to anybody. And so yesterday was this pretty epic debate on display where you had star power in the person of Gene Simmons versus the interests of local mom-and-pop radio stations represented by a station owner in North Carolina who serves on the board of the National Association of Broadcasters, really having this conversation, but it was not exactly a fair fight. I mean, you had members of both parties ganging up on local radio, saying that somehow they're profiting from the playing of records without compensating the performers when Congress has had this set up since the beginning of the business.
What's interesting about this is Gene Simmons doesn't understand one small fact about radio stations. They don't pay. So if you're going to charge, right, if you're going to have to pay Gene Simmons, they just won't play Gene Simmons anymore. They won't play any music. And so you'll never hear music on radio ever again.
I mean, that's one possibility. I mean, you've seen over the generations, there was a time when this station operated under different call letters and did play music. And in fact, I think this was a country station at this frequency back in, let's say 40 years ago. But never mind that. Obviously, times change, trends change, audience patterns change. And the music listener increasingly is we don't love it in this profession, but music listeners increasingly turning to streaming rather than over-the-air radio to be entertained by music. And so the question is, how does this relationship continue? What role does Congress play? There very much is a lot of local politics in this, particularly for Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. She's representing country artists.
Right.
And Adam Schiff is doing the same for Los Angeles and Hollywood, and also for the companies that are based in both cities.
So, real quick, what are the? This is good. This is good star power. Everyone likes it because there's a star there, and everyone gets a conversation. Everyone talks about it. What are the real odds of them actually making any change to this?
Well, it's hard to see. I mean, look, the NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters, the lobby for this industry, has been fending this off for decades. I mean, literally, every time this conversation's come up for the last 50-odd years, the NAB has prevailed in this fight. But, you could argue that this is a moment right now where there's antipathy towards broadcasters. You see it in the Trump administration with respect to coverage of news. It's a difficult situation where, you have powerful interests, particularly the record companies, joining with the celebrities to say that this is not fair to the musicians. And, woe is the local radio station owner who is basically being told that he may have to pay just, more money. And as the owner of the stations in North Carolina put it yesterday, free local radio's only option is to cut elsewhere. You mentioned the idea, McGraw, that stations might just stop playing music altogether. Well, the other side of that argument is music has resulted in, the sizable audience that radio continues to have in the main on FM. And that's still a substantial business. They keep using the phrase $14 billion, which is the aggregate total of advertising collected by the radio industry on estimated last year. We hope that number holds. We hope it grows, despite the headwinds, which indicate that it's only moving in another direction.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that the industry will continue to argue that it provides a free, essential community service, and that an additional cost is not what this industry needs right now at a time when it's facing competition it's never faced before.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Good stuff, Stephen. Have a good day.
You bet.
You got it. Yeah, they're going to learn the hard way. Radio don't pay.
Well, are they
Gene Simmons wants his money from. Well, you get.
He's already getting songwriting royalties.
And like he said, I don't understand why you like the radio. Don't they? That's a mutually beneficial relationship. Like that's how these are. They just just mixing radio altogether that has anything to do with.
They want their. They get it from streaming. They don't get it from radio.
I think this should be like the record company contract. Discuss that more. Have the record company pay more.
Well, what you should do is first take AM out of cars and then force them to pay extra for the music they play. That should be really good for a whole industry.
That'll solve everything.
Yeah, that'll fix the problem. And then have a tornado come through. And then complain that how come no one told me about it? Well, because you took the device that tells you about it out of your car. See, that's why you didn't hear about it. 745, the Big 550, KTRS. Let's talk about Dr. Bowen. What Dr. Bowen should do is he should put an AM transistor radio in your mouth. Remember that on Gilligan's Island when the professor... I think it was Gilligan.
Filling.
Was it Gilligan got hit by a coconut, and all of a sudden he could pick up the radio in his mouth?
Yep.
Dr. Bowen could do that. It very easily could do that. We're just 2 or 3 steps away from actually that happening. In all seriousness, Dr. Bowen is good peeps. He's one of the good ones. Good family man. Great family man. Good dentist. Great dentist. Good boss. Good friend. What do you need to know? You need a dentist? Dr. Bowen. You need implants. Tooth gone bad, tooth gone south. Maybe the dentures don't work as well as they used to. Maybe they don't fit as well. You got new ones. It happens all the time. Dr. Bowen sees patients like this almost every single day. Other dentists send patients like this to Dr. Bowen every single day. Why? Because Dr. Bowen is known as the go-to. He's not corporate. He's an independent, family-run business, and so he didn't jack up the prices. Matter of fact, those corporate dentists will charge you $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. Believe that $30,000 for something Dr. Bowen will do for just $7,000. So right off the bat, call him, 314-921-3500, or simply securedentures.com. St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, a stalled vehicle on 70 West at St. Louis Avenue is blocking the right lane. Traffic is slow back to the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 East is jammed from 364 to Route DD, probably due to construction. And a couple of other construction notes. 2 southbound lanes of 55 are closed from Bayless to Lindbergh until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And the Revis Barracks entrance ramp to southbound 55 is closed until 2 o'clock today. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've issued a First Alert weather day for Wednesday due to strong winds, and the strongest winds will be in the morning. We have an wind advisory out from 3 a.m. to noon. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, especially tie down those holiday decorations or bring them on in. Now, it's also going to bring in the cold air. Temperatures around 40 in the morning, fall quickly in the morning into the 30s, and then 30s in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy, windy, and a cold day Wednesday. Thursday, the chill settles in, a high of 39 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Speaking of hedge funds coming in and buying up industries, they come in and buy up these HVAC companies, and they fire everybody, hire everybody back at a lesser price, and then jack up the prices and say, here you go. And the word on the street is that these, talk about affordability. Whoa, holy mackerel. What some of these corporate HVAC companies are getting for work is unbelievable, and people are paying it. I don't know why you don't call Gelmish & Sons. It's a family-run business. Their prices are very reasonable and much better than everybody else in town because they don't have a corporation, right? They're not bought out by hedge funds. It's not the bottom dollar for them. It's doing it right. Look, the phone is ringing off the hook over there at Gelmish & Sons, and they are working as hard as they can. Get yourself in the queue. If they can't fix it today, they'll figure out a way to get it fixed in the next couple of days. Gelmish & Sons, family run since 1950 and very proud of it. 314-993-1110 or gelmishandsons.com.
St. Louis Ambush Indoor Soccer returns to the Family Arena this Sunday at 3:05 p.m. to battle the Milwaukee Wave and its Superhero and Princess Knight with a promotional T-shirt giveaway.
Spins it in!
Make your plans to catch all the end-to-end action as your ambush battle the Milwaukee Wave. A youth soccer clinic before the game and a post-game autograph session following the game. Tickets available at the Family Arena box office or at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, go to stlambush.com.
Celebrate the season as gospel legends. The Clark sisters join the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and the In Unison Chorus for a festive concert that blends gospel, jazz, and holiday classics. Filled with captivating music and heartwarming energy, this performance is a soulful celebration for all that will create lasting memories for years to come. December 18th and 19th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
This holiday season, let K. Zander Jewelry add a touch of sparkle to each of your celebrations. Visit us in St. Charles, where we've been part of your community for many years, or at our beautiful new location at the District in Chesterfield. Whether you're searching for a custom gift or a timeless piece, we're here to make your holiday bright. K. Zander Jewelry. Your story, your style, your shine. Find us anytime online at kzanderjewelry.com. Happy holidays!
Experience all the magic of the holiday season at the Marketplace on the Hill. Shop local at the Hill Antique Market, and you'll help support more than 75 local vendors. Enjoy a delicious lunch at Oliva and unwind there during their now famous Wine Down Wednesdays. Consider renting the beautiful La Verona event space for your next party or corporate outing. It all happens at the Marketplace on the Hill at 4923 Jagged. Online at cateringstlouis.com.
Big news, St. Louis. When it comes to selling your home fast, for cash, and as is, the community has spoken. Robank Properties LLC has just been voted Best of the West by the readers of the West News. Why? Because at Robank Properties, we keep it simple. No repairs, no cleanup, no showings, no waiting on banks, just a fair cash offer fast. Inherited a property? Facing a move? Tired of being a landlord? Or just ready for a hassle-free sale? Robank Properties is your trusted local buyer. Committed to honesty, transparency, and making the process painless from start to finish. And now, thanks to you, we're officially Best of the West. So if you're thinking about selling, call the team your neighbors voted #1, Robank Properties LLC, cash buyers of homes as is. Visit us online or call today for your no-obligation cash offer at robankproperties.com or call Mike at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Robank Properties LLC, we make selling simple.
Hi, I'm Matt Beatty, owner of Beatty Roofing, and we are proud to support Light Up Glennon. With over 70 years of experience, we have the best team and fleet in our industry. We provide smart project management, delivering commercial and residential projects on schedule, on budget, and done right. We always strive to exceed client expectations and have relationships with a diverse range of roofing material manufacturers, which allows us to utilize the optimal materials your roof will require. Call 314-892-1331 or visit us online at BeattyRoofing.com. Have a blessed holiday season.
It's the ultimate Cardinals weekend. The 29th winter warm-up, January 17th and 18th at Busch Stadium in Ballpark Village. Experience 2 days of non-stop Cardinals excitement, from clubhouse tours and Hall of Fame and museum access to autographs, auctions, memorabilia, and more. Join the fun. Meet your favorite players and support Cardinals Care, helping kids across the community. Admission tickets are on sale now. Visit cardinals.com/WWU to be part of the action.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, I can't play the whole song because we're going to have to pay fees and everything on this thing. 654 here, Big 550 KTRS. What, he died today? Is that the...
Yeah, at the age of 26.
Yeah. Was it a plane crash? Or?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Otis Redding.
26. I thought he was a 27 club, so he just missed it.
It's amazing how many, right? I mean, great musicians died and, tragically young and taken from us way too young. So 655 here, Big 550 KTRS. Here's an interesting little story for you. In 2023, then Secretary of State Anthony Blinken ordered the State Department to change their font from Times New Roman to Calibri. Is that what is that how you say it?
Calabri?
Calabri, yeah. And the reason why he did it was what is how you pronounce it? Calabri?
Calabri, I thought.
Calabri. It's described as soft and modern, and it is typically considered more accessible for people with reading challenges thanks to the simpler shapes and wider spacing, which makes the letters easier to distinguish. The move was applauded by accessibility advocates, people who have dyslexia, low vision, people who need assist with technology, reading on a screen, and it was applauded by all these advocates for accessibility as an easier way for Americans to read official documents coming out of the State Department. That was in 2023. Well, yesterday, Marco Rubio, and I'm not making this up, said they're going to stop the wokeness on the font. And now they're going to a new directive. The radical diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility programs is misguided and ineffective, and we need to go back to Times New Roman. That is the official department standards from now on. The action request memo says that switching back to the use of Times New Roman would restore decorum and professionalism to the department's written work. Calibri is informal when compared to Times New Roman, and the order said that it clashes with the department's official letterhead. So now you have woke font. I never knew. Don't be using that woke font around here.
What are they hiding this time?
Like what?
I mean, these liberals will go to the ends of the earth to sneak this wokeness in. Now we got to worry about the font. I can't read that. That's woke font.
How often did you change the font when you were writing a paper?
Oh, tons
Courier,
of times.
Extend. Remember, it was the one that would make it so you had, if you had a.
Oh, it was a 3-page
right?
turned into a 7-page.
Yeah. Courier. But who, and then I'm looking through all these fonts.
I would never do that. Did I make the font bigger?
16 point.
I might have made it from a 12 to a 13 or something.
Sure.
Maybe once in a while.
Wingdings.
6:58 here. Captain Paul Kopsky. Don't be using that Calibri font. We want Times New Roman in all traffic responses. St. Louis Closet Company.
Script.
Yes. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Centers, take it away.
McGraw, they've cleared a stalled vehicle on 70 West at St. Louis Avenue, but traffic is still slow back to the Poplar Street Bridge. 55 North is running slow at Bayless, and a couple of construction notes. 2 southbound lanes of 55 are closed from Bayless to Lindbergh until 2 o'clock this afternoon, and the Rivas Barracks entrance ramp to southbound 55 is closed until 2 o'clock today for road work. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, weather-wise, it is windy, blustery, cold out there. You open up the door and make sure you got your coat tied and you got your hat tied down because it is windy. And your 20-foot Santa, take it down. It's not going to last the day. Winds today, gusts 20 to 30 miles an hour. Higher wind gusts are possible, high of 51. Plenty of clouds today. Overnight low, 25. Again, winds up to 10 to 15 miles an hour. We're going to be in the 30s on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday, we're going to reach the high of 20. Plenty of clouds, but we're going to miss this winter storm that is going to be north of us. Chicago, they're calling Chicago wind chill 18 to 20 below in Chicago. So the upper New England and the Ohio Valley and into Canada, it is going to be a couple of days of snowstorm. We missed it. It's just going north of us. Right now, it is 42 degrees at 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
Mizzou football.
The rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 106.1, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump once again hitting the road with one of his campaign-style rallies, this one in Pennsylvania.
We were a dead country 1 year ago. We were dead as a doornail. We were going down the tubes. And now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's nobody close.
The president hoping to talk about affordability. Inflation, though, continues to run around 3%. Here's ABC's Melissa Adon.
Some critics arguing Trump is not doing enough to address the high cost of living. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says Trump can't deny reality.
Folks can't unsee
what they see when they go to the grocery store. Prices have dramatically increased on Donald Trump's watch.
The price of groceries is up from a year ago, including products impacted by Trump's tariffs. Coffee up 41%, sirloin steak 20%, and bananas now cost nearly 9% more.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth telling congressional leaders he's still weighing whether to release the full video of that attack on an alleged drug boat that killed 2 survivors off the coast of Venezuela in September. Calls are coming from both parties to make the video public. Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Cortina Machado is missing in the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony going on right now. The Venezuelan opposition leader has not been seen in public for 11 months. Her daughter, though, accepting the prize for her, says she is safe. A social media ban nationwide, not here in Australia, for anyone under the age of 16. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese.
This reform will change lives for Australian kids and allowing them to just have their childhood. For Australian parents, enabling them to have greater peace of mind.
In Missouri, opponents of the new congressional map that they've drawn have submitted a petition with 300,000 names calling for a statewide vote on redistricting. This is ABC News.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've got some important news from our friends at Dalco Home Remodeling. You know they're locally owned and family operated. More importantly, they've been installing the very best windows and doors in town for the past 50 years. That great offer that they have on windows at Dalco has now been extended through the end of the month, so you can still earn a $600 tax credit on new windows. Plus, Dalco has upped the ante to an additional $260 credit per window for up to 10 of their Elite Series windows with 0% financing for up to 18 months. That's up to $3,200 in credits. The Energy Star tax credit offer is ending forever and will not return. So you've got to act fast. This incredible offer ends through the end of the month. So you call today, 314-298-7300 to get up to $3,200 in credits for up to 10 new energy-efficient windows. Or go online, DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. If you buy somewhere else and find out how much you could have saved with Dalco, you'll blow your stack. So call 314-298-7300. See store for details.
Here's a myth. Your furnace doesn't need attention until it breaks. Truth, that's the fastest way to lose heat and gain bills. Since 1959, Aldon's been fixing homes and busting myths. And right now, we're offering a $79 furnace safety inspection for new customers. Because comfort isn't a guess, it's a system. Add healthier air this winter with $100 off a whole home humidifier. And if your system's aging, ask about the ultra-efficient Daikin Fit system. Smaller, smarter, quieter, built for real comfort.
Aldon, indoor air quality specialist. Comfort you can count on, family you can trust.
45 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department has announced a contract renewal for Chief Robert Tracy. The Board of Commissioners has approved a 3-year deal that will extend Tracy's tenure as chief through 2028. The board commended his leadership of the department during its transition to state control. Tracy has served as St. Louis Police Chief since 2022. Opponents of Missouri's new congressional map submitted thousands of petition signatures yesterday calling for a statewide referendum on a redistricting plan backed by President Donald Trump as part of his quest to hold on to a slim Republican majority in next year's elections. Organizers of the petition drive said they turned in more than 300,000 signatures to the Secretary of State's office, well more than the roughly 110,000 needed to suspend the new U.S. House districts from taking effect until a public vote could be held next year. The signatures must still be formally verified by local election authorities and Republican Secretary of State Denny Hoskins. Webster University is now using artificial intelligence to help students figure out what they should choose as a major. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
On Tuesday, Webster issued a press release that they are the first university in the region, and possibly in the country, to offer prospective college students an AI-powered degree navigator, which analyzes their responses to a questionnaire and will then generate a tailored college degree plan for them, identifying the best major, study opportunities, and information on potential career positions and projected salaries. Lisa Blazer, Webster's Vice President of Enrollment Management, says this AI program will revolutionize higher education and will save students both time and money in the long run. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Public libraries in Illinois will soon have opioid overdose reversal agents on hand. The Illinois Department of Public Health added public libraries to the list of locations allowed to let trained staff members administer agents in the event of a suspected overdose on the property. The revised standing order will make it easier for libraries to comply with the new provisions of the Illinois Local Library Act, which takes effect on January 1st. The Federal Reserve could announce an interest rate cut today. While investors anticipate the third rate cut in a row, they'll be even more focused on what Fed Chair Jerome Powell says in his comments following the announcement. Powell could indicate this could be the last expected cut for now, citing current market and inflation conditions. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. So push for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 48 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right, Karen Travers following the president in Pennsylvania yesterday, getting a lot of attention. He was supposed to talk about affordability, but didn't. Talked about everything else, but we'll get into that with him. Caleb Silver is going to talk about the economy. The Federal Reserve is thinking about cutting rates. We'll get into that next hour. Randy will talk about the Blues loss last night to the Bruins. Mark Miller is going to talk Christmas presents at Miller Furniture. Emma Clues, Great Rivers Greenway. That's straight ahead. All that we'll get into. So Tony Messenger, Post-Dispatch columnist, STLtoday.com. You used to go on the show all the time. Has an article today which I would argue is probably one of the finest things he's ever written. He was quoting a former homeless man, and at the end of the article, he writes, here's his kicker. The gentleman says, "You never know if you've got freedom of speech unless you go out and use it," which is a really interesting turn of a phrase. Here's the story. This man, and there's a lot of talk about free speech today. And how free is free speech today? And I've got free speech, but I want to infringe on your free speech. Right?
Yes.
I can say anything I want on the internet.
Yes.
You, however, cannot. How dare you infringe on my free speech rights? Guy's name is Robert Fernandez. And at one point, he was homeless. And he stood on the median at busy intersections asking passersby for money. And Tony writes the story that he went to court and he won. And the court said, yeah, you have a constitutional right to go and, solicit money in the middle of the intersection. It's a constitutional right. Firefighters do it with the boots, and the police officers do it, and the firefighters can do it, the homeless person can do it. So Tony tells the story about how they rewrite the laws in Des Peres and other places so that they said, now no one can do it. It's a safety issue. Oh, it's a safety issue. And so they're now in court arguing whether or not, because this guy, this Fernandez, now has a house and he's back up on his feet, I guess. After they passed the laws, he went to the intersection of Manchester Road and 270 and started soliciting money again. And they arrested him. And they said, you can't do that. It's against the law. So now they're going to court to decide whether or not he has the right to panhandle for money on the middle of an intersection.
What does that have to do with free speech?
They're saying he has a right to do it.
But like begging for money on the street corner is considered free speech?
Yes, it is.
And the government can't do anything?
What about loitering? Or don't they have no loitering? What's loitering?
That's a good question. I don't know, but it's sort of it's in this world. That's right. This guy's got. Do you tell me the guy doesn't have a right to go up and ask you for money? But he has a right to.
I was just questioning. Like I just didn't think that was under the free speech umbrella. I kind of just thought that was
free speech.
I guess I don't know where that. I guess I don't know where.
Well, you and the rest of the world doesn't know where it ends and where it starts. Where does my right not to be annoyed by you asking me for money in my car on a street corner? And where does your right start? And you can stand on that street corner and ask me for money. And if you are a free speech advocate, right, you believe in free speech, and by golly, Facebook can't edit what I post. Facebook can't take down what I post, even if it's, right? How dare you infringe on my free speech rights? Well, then you kind of have to stand up for this guy. and say, this guy's got a right to stand on the corner and annoy me as I drive by. Because Facebook can't edit what you say on your Facebook post.
No, fair enough. But I'd also think, though, that like the safety issue and all that, like it could be, you can stand on the corner, but you can't go in the middle of the cars and walk up and down the street, stuff like. And I'm saying safety issue, not
well,
like.
I don't think he's
not
doing that.
Okay,
I don't think he's doing that.
They do that, and
he's standing. Yeah, they do, but he's not doing it while the traffic's going. He's doing it while the traffic is stopped. But yeah, no, I mean, but you never know if you've got freedom of speech unless you go out and use it. It's a pretty good line from a former homeless man who's being sued because he was told he couldn't stand in a street corner with a sign and say, I'm homeless, please give me money. I'm not arguing whether or not you think you should give money or shouldn't give money. The point is, does that guy have a right, a constitutional right, to stand on a street corner and say, give me money? Or is your constitutional right of, I don't want to see that, trump his right to stand on a street corner? It's really interesting. 7-11 here, Big 550 KTRS. Tony, that was a good one by Tony Messenger. All right, what else we got going on here? So I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on. We don't have enough time now, but there's a new thing called Whamageddon.
Yes.
Where a bunch of people get together and have a contest.
Mostly. It's online mostly.
Yeah, it's a contest. And the contest is to see how long you can go without hearing George Michael's song Last Christmas. This song. How much of the song can you not hear before you're knocked out of the contest?
You're already out.
You're already out. So one note.
Yeah. Once you realize that you've heard
Once you realize you're listening to Last Christmas,
you're out.
You're out.
Carl's like conceivably knocked out majority of this city in like 2 shots.
So Carl played this at the hockey game the other day.
And played this on December 1. So yeah, Carl's having a blast over here. He's going to get hate mail.
I love the song.
Death threats.
Oh, death threats are already
They're
coming
already
in.
coming.
They're already piled up. I've heard of stupid games to play. This one's pretty stupid.
Well, it's also so honor system, right? Like, because it would be like, I mean, I like the idea of if you hear it, you're like, right? Or there's some people that are legit. So are you just going to stay home for the entire month of December? So that you don't, because it's anywhere you go. If you hear it's anywhere. Yeah, it's anywhere. You can't control your environment.
So what do? You have people at the Target running out.
I know. Right?
or somebody go, oh, dang it.
I can't believe I heard it.
Wham!
I'd love to do that with other songs. Yeah. Like Red, Red Wine by UB40.
You know
can we do something about that song?
I mean, and why did they pick this one?
I like that song.
I do too.
I think that brings me back to 1985. When did that song come out?
Yeah, you're right.
1985?
86.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, boom. That's rock solid, man, 1985. Can't go wrong.
Were you into Wham when you were in high school?
Did you wake you up before you go?
You know what? Into is too strong of a word. I did not have a Frankie Says Relax t-shirt. But I've always was a little confused as to what was Wham and what was Frankie Says Relax. Because they're two different groups, right?
Frankie Goes to Hollywood is that one.
Is that one?
And then
Wham is the other
Wham
one.
is just 2, and then and then George Michael had a more solo
once
career.
he went solo, yeah.
Poor Andrew Ridgely got he's
he didn't do it anymore.
I wasn't running out buying his albums and having those Dayglow shorts, but
Faith is a great album.
Faith is a great album, but I did like some of his songs. Yeah, yeah. I thought his songs were fantastic.
Yeah,
poor guy was tortured his whole life.
Yeah,
but Faith and what's the Freedom? Freedom is a great song, and it's a tremendous video.
First, there was the Freedom with Wham, and then he did Freedom 90, which is also fantastic.
Tremendous song.
Both songs are
great.
It's
a tremendous song, yeah. So I like...
the father figure video. Do you remember that one? He used all these is it the supermodels?
It's because he didn't want to be in videos anymore, and all of his supermodel friends were like, we'll be in your videos.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, supermodels taking their shirts off. That's, people are like, you like Wham, you're gay. I was like, well, I don't know about that, but the guy's got a video with supermodels taking their shirt off. So, okay, I'm gay, I guess. Whatever. Never understood the sort of derogatory comments because of the music you like. It's such a weird... oh, you like Broadway? You're gay. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay. That's your definition, then I guess I am.
My grandma liked Liberace. She was not gay.
My grandmother loved Liberace, and we were trying to convince her, and she was like, oh, no, he's a real manly man.
Uh-huh.
Even then, we were like, I don't know if that works.
He was like the poster guy for
7:16 here, Big 550 KTRS. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky. Captain, take it away.
McGraw crash on northbound 270 just south of 64 is partially blocking the right lane. Traffic is still slow on 70 west from the Poplar Street Bridge to St. Louis Avenue, where a stalled vehicle was just cleared about 20 minutes ago. 55 north is running slow at Bayless. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 east between US 50 and 158, causing slowdowns. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've issued a First Alert weather day for Wednesday due to strong winds, and the strongest winds will be in the morning. We have an wind advisory out from 3 a.m. to noon. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, especially tie down those holiday decorations or bring them on in. Now, it's also going to bring in the cold air. Temperatures around 40 in the morning, fall quickly in the morning into the 30s, and then 30s in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy, windy, and a cold day Wednesday. Thursday, the chill settles in, a high of 39 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery. Woods Mill, Clayton Road. Right there at the corner is a gas station, West County Phillips 66 gas station. In that gas station is 3 Bay. It's been there for 10 years now, at least. And they sell quality, great barbecue. And weather's a little chilly, got some friends in town. Oh, I know where we can go, 3 Bay. Yeah. No, the other day I was nowhere near 3 Bay, and I was like, ooh, you know what? Had a little hankering for a little barbecue. Walked in, sat down, chowed down. Yeah, 3 Bay Barbecue. Just put it this way, 10 years selling barbecue in the back of a gas station, yeah, they're good. And that's why they've survived all these years. So catering, got some Christmas parties you need to be catered. 3 Bay can be more than happy to do that, whether big or small, whether it's at a venue or at somebody's house, they're more than happy to do that. DoorDash, drive-in, they don't have a drive-in, but takeaway, right, pickup. Or dine in. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery. Woods Mill, Clayton Road. Don't forget about the bakery. 3BayBarbecueandBakery.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for 20 Minutes to Fitness. What if I told you you could build real strength and bone density with just one 20-minute workout a week? At 20 Minutes to Fitness, that's exactly what happens. Using scientifically proven strength-building methods, you work one-on-one with a personal trainer who sets the equipment, watches your form, and safely takes each major muscle group to deep fatigue in just 2 to 3 minutes per machine. Then, during the rest of your week, your muscles rebuild. It's ideal if you're out of shape, recovering from injury, or worried you're just too old to start. They're staffed by health pros, managed by a physical therapist, and clients range from 18 to 101. And if you're on a GLP-1 medication, this is one of the best ways to rebuild the muscle those meds can cost you. No memberships, no crowds, just appointments, personalized training, and results. They even offer movement and mobility sessions to help with balance, mechanics, and those everyday aches and pains. If it sounds too good to be true, try it for yourself. Your first session is free. Now celebrating 24 years in Chesterfield and Clayton. 20 Minutes to Fitness. Try it yourself to see why I love it so much.
This holiday season, be sure to check out the all-new Rollins Experience in Westport Plaza. Featuring the iconic brand's full line of ball gloves, bats, protective gear, apparel, and more. The Rollins Experience has a stacked lineup of gifts for all the baseball and softball athletes on your shopping list. Visitors can also experience the past, present, and future of gloves in the Rollins Glove Vault. Design their very own custom glove like the pros, or take cuts in the Rollins Hit Lab with the latest high-performance pads. Join those deemed the finest in the field and visit the Rollins Experience today.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. It's been very busy. In the last few weeks, the listeners have been calling, and I've been showing up. I bought several Corvettes, Vipers, Mopars, and even an entire collection directly out of listeners' garages. I'm still looking for more, too. If you have an interesting vehicle to sell, call us or hop on our site today. We'll come right to your house if need be. We're busy selling, too. Black Friday specials are already in full effect with financing rates as low as 3.99 up to 66 months on 2019 or newer models for those who qualify. Time to buy and sell right now.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRX.
$7:21 here, Big 550, KTRS. Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. Donald Trump went to Pennsylvania yesterday. It was more like a campaign rally, was it not, Karen Travers?
Yeah, and that's what they said they were going to do. You know, they want this to be a campaign-style tour that the president would be doing, that he would be out there kind of, you know, reliving the glory days of these rally events, but selling the economy, selling the agenda, the economic policies that they say they have put in place or will be putting in place, because they're recognizing that this is something that voters are concerned about. But the president continues to downplay, dismiss concerns about affordability, saying it's a hoax by Democrats and a con job, that they're just using this word to say that Trump prices are higher. But poll after poll shows Americans genuinely are worried about this. And when you look at the actual data, there are prices that are up from a year ago on specific grocery items that you could tie back to the tariff policy. But last night, the president, again, dismissing some of that as the previous administration's fault, or just something that Democrats are now talking about.
Yeah, he also brought up immigration quite a bit and made some comments, and I guess the best way to describe them would be not usual for a president in a public setting like that to throw around curse words that we probably couldn't use on a family-run radio station.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it, but, you know, the president last night recalled the 2018 meeting where he said about only taking people from expletive countries, and that he asked why there can't be more people coming from Northern European, Scandinavian countries. At the time, the president denied saying that. The White House didn't deny it, but the president denied using that language. Now he's not just, acknowledging he said it, but embracing it.
Yeah, that's a strange way to sort of re-engage himself. He's hearing, but a lot of Republicans, the Marjorie Taylor Greenes of the world, the Nancy Maces of the world, there seems to be a bit of a, even if it's just on the fringes, and even though these people aren't necessarily facing voters, there does seem to be some angst within his party over this.
Yeah, and I think, this is where this is why they want him talking about the economy, because he has been facing criticism from within the own party on these types of issues. And they want to get him out there kind of going on offense, not on defense on it. But last night, it was an hour-and-a-half speech, and he went vastly off topic, veered completely off topic on so many different things, as he tends to do. But this is where it's going to be a challenge, I think, for the White House to say, well, we're going to have him laser focus on the economy because voters care about this, and then he's not.
Yeah. And then, of course, he announced the farm relief because of the tariffs. Did he mention much about that at all?
I don't think that was a big thing for him yesterday. He's been talking about it earlier this week because he did an event with farmers in the White House. Brooke Rollins, the ag secretary, also has been talking about this. They say it's kind of just this chicken egg thing of saying that, like, well, we're giving this money to farmers, money we're taking in from tariffs. But, tariffs are money that companies are paying to the Treasury because they're paying a higher import tax and then likely to pass it on to American consumers.
Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. Thanks, Karen. Have a good day.
You too, thanks.
7:25, closer to home here in St. Louis. The news this morning is that St. Louis City Police Chief Robert Tracy has signed a new 3-year contract under his tutelage. The crime in the city of St. Louis has gone down, whether you believe the stats or not. Through November 30th, the city has had a drop of 10% in murders. Other crime has seen a reduction in robberies, shootings, auto thefts, all according to department data. And so Robert Tracy is getting a new 3-year contract extension. The new salary is $183,000. His current salary is $175,000, so he's getting an $8,000 raise. He has also received an extra $100,000 a year from the St. Louis Police Foundation for the last 3 years. That agreement will end at the end of the year, so he is no longer receiving the extra $100,000 from the St. Louis Police Foundation. And according to the article in the STLtoday.com, the Post-Dispatch, he is talking about how he will be looking for a second job to make up for the lost income.
So in total, it was like 200 before he was doing 200.
He was making, right.
And now he's losing the 100.
With the extra $100,000 from the St. Louis Police Foundation over the last 3 years. So even though he's getting a raise, he's not. He's losing the $100,000 he was getting from the foundation. So, be that as it may, he said that if you take a look at the contract, I can do extra duty just like any other commissioned police officer.
So he's going to do like secondary?
He's going to take a second job. Yeah.
So he'll be like hanging outside of the bar checking IDs.
I don't know if he's going to be in charge of traffic control outside of a Blues game. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if that's going to be the second job, but I guess it could. I would think more of a consulting role, maybe. I would think, but
this ID's from out of town.
You never know if he's going to see him. If he's going to help you across Broadway after a Cardinal game.
Or maybe you could just do like remote work, like when you get those emails from Sandy telling you can make $45 an hour.
Somebody who has a second job, I'm not going to question whether or not a second job is appropriate. But, man, it's so bad that the police chief has got to take a second job. There's something about, I don't know what happened, but they're holding a news conference to talk about how they're just going to keep this police chief and crime is down. And the whole news conference is about how he can take a second job. Isn't there, I don't know, it seems like there would be a better way to sort of reposition that. You know, hey, you know what? I took the job because I wanted to be here. My salary's not important. I do this job for free anyway.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't take the job for the money. I took the job because I love St. Louis. Right? I mean, there's ways to answer the question as opposed to, yeah, I'll be looking for a second job. Anybody know of anything, let me know.
I know, that's hard, though. How did that conversation go? And it was like, we're going to give you a raise.
Yeah.
But we're taking that.
Now, apparently, right? I mean, it's now run by the state. So the state, I guess, the foundation's the foundation, right? It's run by its own people. But the state is now in charge of all this. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just thought that was a little weird. There are restrictions on what St. Louis City police officers can do in terms of secondary work and outside work, right? They do a lot of security stuff. We were joking, right? Whether it's not overtime necessarily on the job, but, you know, they take security jobs and they help out with, you know, all sorts of things. Secondary jobs, bouncers at bars or whatever. There are still police officers, but there are some restrictions in all of that. I don't know if he has those same restrictions because he's the police chief. But it is bizarre to open up your hometown newspaper and see the story about how the police chief is re-upped for 3 more years and he'll be looking for a second job. What if he could become like the prosecutor in like Moline Acres or something?
Well, and all the while our sheriff is getting paid while standing trial.
The sheriff is getting paid while he's in jail, so then you have that. He could be the prosecutor in like Right, Velda City or something. Be the judge somewhere.
Maybe he should be the sheriff.
He could be the sheriff. Why don't be combine
Someone
the two
needs-
jobs?
Right.
Be the sheriff and the police chief.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that. You could do morning radio and you could do nighttime radio.
Nothing wrong with that.
7:30, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, McGraw. A crash on southbound 270 just south of 64 is off on the shoulder. 270 north is heavy from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. 55 north, stop and go at Bayless. 64 east bogs down around 170. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 east between US 50 and 158, causing slowdowns. This traffic report is brought to you by Lion's Choice, a local favorite since 1967. Lion's Choice continues to serve high-quality roast beef to families and friends across Missouri and Illinois. Everyone's got their favorite order. What's yours? Stop by or order online. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line from the 618, maybe he could be an anesthesiologist at Mercy Hospital. Text of the day. Text of the day. I got to give it to you. Text of the day. That's a good one. I don't think he can be a prosecutor. Don't you have to be an attorney? That is true. But he could be a police chief in somewhere else. That's for sure. He could go to nursing school. Just curious, how much do the police chiefs in St. Charles make per year? Don't know, don't care, not going to find out. That text from 2 minutes ago. A little harsh. By the way, the AI results are the salary for the police chief in St. Charles is $126,000 to $128,000 annually. So that's according to artificial intelligence. It's the best I could do in the 2 minutes you gave me to find the answer. 7:32 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Dozens of people have been killed in a drone strike against Sudan's largest oil processing facility carried out by the Sudanese armed forces. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces says the oil field in Heglig was attacked a day after the RSF seized the facility near the border with South Sudan. The exact number of dead and wounded could not immediately be confirmed. Local news outlets reported 7 tribal leaders and dozens of RSF troopers were killed. Netflix is the target of a class action lawsuit over its plans to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount has launched a hostile takeover attempt after losing a bidding war to Netflix, even though the board at Warner Brothers Discovery already accepted the Netflix offer of $28 a share. Now a Las Vegas resident is getting involved as well, taking legal action, alleging the pending deal risks irreparable antitrust injury to consumers. And former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan is asking President Trump for a pardon of his federal corruption conviction. Madigan recently filed a clemency petition with the Office of the Pardon Attorney. The Chicago native is currently serving a 7.5-year sentence in federal prison after being convicted earlier this year on charges of conspiracy, wire fraud, and bribery. 47 degrees. Time now is 7:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right. How's this? I want to move to Tokyo, because in Tokyo, in public restrooms, they pipe in music like bird songs, ocean waves, babbling rivers. It's courtesy audio meant to mask the bathroom noises.
Courtesy audio?
Yes.
What?
An auditory simulation of nature, perfect for responding to its call. Sound machines in public restrooms in Tokyo. That is fantastic.
Courtesy audio.
Tokyo sound machine.
So it's so loud you can't. I thought it was like also like water rippling to help you, to help you go if you're having trouble.
Sort of relax you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that work? I mean,
Yeah. I don't know, but
courtesy audio.
Courtesy audio in public restrooms. I'm moving to Japan, man. Holy
we
mackerel.
all need courtesy audio.
Courtesy.
And what would that be like?
Holy mackerel. That is fantastic.
Her name is Lola.
7:35 here, Big 550 KTRS. Baldy Electric. I got to get some more electronics in the bathroom so I can get some speakers put in. And if you need speakers in your bathroom to bring in all those lovely sounds of water babbling down the river, here's what you need. Baldy Electric, 314-968-9999. He can put that speaker wire in, no problem. You're also going to need an outlet, too. Baldy Electric can do that for all of your electrical needs. Now, true story, we've got a 20-foot Santa. We got a 12-foot snowman. We've got a wood-paneled Santa car. And we got Olaf. And we needed more power. And so Baldy Electric went in and put extra outlets in the garage so that we can power all of our holiday display. Baldy Electric is your go-to. They also helped me rewire the studio for the nighttime show. Baldy's your go-to since 1996. They have a group of electricians who will help you every single step of the way, from indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, whatever it may be. Baldy Electric, 314-968-9999 or baldyelectric.com.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day. That's cvshealth.com/investor day.
A stiff chair makes you sit. An X chair lets you float. Upgrade to an X chair, engineered for better posture and focus. The secret? Patented lumbar support that adjusts instantly. SiFloat Infinite Recline that moves effortlessly with you. X chair is next level ergonomic seating that truly floats. Right now, you can save up to 50% with the X Chair holiday sale. Supplies are limited, so visit xchair.com today for up to 50% off. That's xchair.com.
Every day another adventure. Our greatest discoveries come when we stop searching. Beneath the endless sky, away from the stress of work, the answer to the ancient Zen mystery, the sound of one hand clapping. Take a trip in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
This holiday season, let K. Zander Jewelry add a touch of sparkle to each of your celebrations. Visit us in St. Charles, where we've been part of your community for many years, or at our beautiful new location at the District in Chesterfield. Whether you're searching for a custom gift or a timeless piece, we're here to make your holiday bright. K. Zander Jewelry, your story, your style, your shine. Find us anytime online at kzanderjewelry.com. Happy holidays!
Got big equipment dreams? Purple Wave Auction is bringing you the Kender Brothers excavating lineup, and this is your chance to make those dreams real. Late model long reach excavators from Cat, Sany, Komatsu, and attachments for any job site, all selling no reserve when the auction closes December 31st. Need those year-end tax advantages? Perfect timing. Head to purplewave.com for photos, videos, and inspection details so you can bid with confidence. Registration is free. Kender Brothers Excavating, selling now at purplewave.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost, or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing, embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.com.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Dogtown! Dogtown Pizza, that is. Stuff your stockings this year with one of 13 festive flavors. You know 4 meat and sausage, hot chicken and bacon. But do you recall my most favorite flavor of all? Pepperoni peppercini. So let's all conspire as we eat by the fire. We'll frolic and play the Dogtown way. Make this holiday season a Dogtown wonderland. Happy holidays and Merry Dogtown!
Hey, the number 2 crew reporting for duty.
Number 2 crew. Let's get in that yard and clean up that doggy doo.
The number 2 crew will visit your yard once a week in the St. Louis area, and they'll take care of your dog's business. Think of them as your yard's best friend.
We are the number 2 crew. We do poo, you do you.
Customers can sign up through their website and utilize their customer portal for any sort of changes or updates. The number2crew.com or 314-717-8880.
We pick up what your dog left behind.
The number2crew.com.
Live from Studio 550, this is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
$7:41 here, Big 550, KTRS. Carl deserves a promotion to senior intern, and of course, the accompanying raise.
That's not what the hate mail says.
The hardest working woman in radio, Rose Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have an Alexa in my bathroom for just that reason. Okay, who knew? Speaking of that, there's another story out today that, have you ever heard of something called cognitive shuffling?
No, I have not.
Cognitive shuffling is a technique in which helps people fall asleep. Yeah. Sleep is such a big thing, right? People have a hard time sleeping.
Yeah.
And it was invented 15 years ago by a doctor who was suffering from insomnia and wanted to find a solution. So he and his colleagues came up with this idea, and now they've just started studying it, if you will. They've been studying it for a while. And the concept is this. Your brain you need to shut your brain off.
Right.
And that's the argument people say is, I can't shut my brain off. I'm constantly thinking. I can't disassociate my brain from reality as I try and fall asleep. So what they say is you should practice cognitive shuffling. And how that works is kind of like counting sheep in a silly way. What they say is, what you do is you pick a letter, like the letter P, and you say Pluto. And then you, in your mind, you continue to say all the letters, all the words that begin with P. So Pluto, people, pumpkin, platypus, paint, right? You keep doing P's. Plethora, right? You keep doing P's till you run out of P's. And then you go R's. And then you do, Rusty and reindeer and restaurant and Rudolph. And you keep doing that. And they say that your brain, since it's not connected, these words aren't connected, it breaks the pattern of your brain constantly thinking about things and disassociates yourself, right? And the shuffling signals to your brain that stop thinking, rest. And at least anecdotally, they've found that a lot of people use this to help them fall asleep.
And I'm sure it's exhausting trying to come up with more P words after you've done like 100 or
well, it's actually, however you count sheep or whatever else, same premise, which is stop thinking about, what I have to do at work tomorrow, or I got to pay that bill, or I got the doctor's appointment tomorrow, or I'm worried about the kids, or right? And just sort of try and turn your brain off. Well, it's easier said than done. How do you do it? And just sort of counting sheep or...
It's like focusing on just one thing.
Yeah.
Like I would try to remember, I know it's like all the prayers that we had to memorize. Like I know it's odd, but like I would sometimes just see if I can, just say them over and over again. And you realize you're focusing on, it's also like your breathing, that's the other thing that's important is that, make sure that your exhales are longer than your inhales when you're tired. When you want to get up, you want to make your inhale, so if you focus, do a breathing pattern, but it's whatever just to keep your brain focused on one thing. And then before you know it,
kind of the same concept. They say the worst thing is your phone.
Yeah.
The worst thing to fall asleep is going on your phone, which is the opposite effect.
Right.
So I mean that I could fall asleep. Heck, I could fall asleep during a commercial. I have no problem falling asleep, and it gets other people mad at me.
I can see that.
Yeah, like, what do you fall asleep so fast for? It's like, sorry.
I know it's a gift. I mean, that's a skill.
No, it's a Millhaven trait.
Don't take that for granted.
Yeah, no. JR would just be like, I'm so mad at you. I'm like, what are you mad at me for? He's like, you just fell asleep last night. He's like, what are you? Am I not supposed to fall? We were going to bed. Lights out.
So mad. You're snoring already? I can't even
My grandmother would say that McGraw's got a clean conscience.
Oh.
Only a kid with a clean conscience can fall asleep that fast. 746 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, a multi-vehicle crash on 270 South, just south of 64, is off on the shoulder and not causing a slowdown. 270 North is heavy from Gravois past Doherty Ferry. 55 North, stop and go at Bayless. 64 East bogs down at 170. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and 158. That's causing slowdowns there. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've issued a First Alert weather day for Wednesday due to strong winds, and the strongest winds will be in the morning. We have an wind advisory out from 3 a.m. to noon. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, especially tie down those holiday decorations or bring them on in. Now, it's also going to bring in the cold air. Temperatures around 40 in the morning, fall quickly in the morning into the 30s, and then 30s in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy, windy, and a cold day Wednesday. Thursday, the chill settles in, a high of 39 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, from the Country Club Car Wash text line, I listened to a Gregorian chant, 10 minutes and I'm out. From the 314, I listen to Carney's show and I'm asleep in seconds. 314, I just asked my wife all the things she's going to do the next day and I'm out in less than a minute. Here's another one. How weird. I've been doing stuff like that for a while. I never knew it had a name. So there you go. All right. Let me talk to you about St. Mary's High School. St. Mary's High School. Here's what you got to know. Is that your young man is looking for Catholic high schools. You want a place to go where he will learn the skills that are going to be needed to have a successful life, right? The spiritual skills as well as the physical and mental skills. You also want him, oftentimes school is connected to who you know and who you meet and the doors that it'll open up. Well, St. Mary's High School has got all of those things. They've got a wonderful reputation for teaching the skills both in the classroom and out of the classroom. They've teamed up with businesses and unions. They have wonderful sports programs. They have an alumni that is very powerful and very influential. So that young man is looking for an all-boys Catholic school, St. Mary's High School, St. Mary's Southside High School. It's now an independent high school. Class sizes are growing. Parents are realizing that this is a great resource for your young man. Once they graduate with a degree from St. Mary's, 4-year universities, 2-year trade schools, they can go right into the business and a chosen field, and they're already ahead of everybody else. This is where the leaders of the next generation come from. stmaryshs.com. stmaryshs.com.
Do you know someone with a drug or alcohol problem? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything. Stop the drug and alcohol nightmare. Are drug and alcohol problems hitting you too close to home? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. That's 800-694-1127.
Got big equipment dreams? Purple Wave Auction is bringing you the Kender Brothers excavating lineup, and this is your chance to make those dreams real. Late model long reach excavators from Cat, Sani, Komatsu, and attachments for any job site, all selling no reserve when the auction closes December 31st. Need those year-end tax advantages? Perfect timing. Head to purplewave.com for photos, videos, and inspection details so you can bid with confidence. Registration is free. Kender Brothers Excavating. Selling now at purplewave.com.
It's Julie Buck inviting you to join us for the annual Rusted Chandelier Open House. Come sip and shop and buy all the goodies to deck your halls at the Rusted Chandelier. They're located in Kirkwood at Manchester and Folger. You do not want to miss this store, especially during the holidays. Absolutely everything to decorate your home and get your cozy on this holiday season at the Rusted Chandelier.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the control option mindset featuring the lifetime and generational income maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Bend and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
This holiday season, if you're looking to give that special client, friend, or family member a gift they won't forget, then how about a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market? Annie Gunn's St. Louis Magazine Restaurant of the Year continues to deliver irresistible cuisine served by the dedicated and knowledgeable staff in a comfortable and inviting setting. The Smokehouse Market, where you can pick up foods and wines inspired by the richness of country life, offers succulent steaks, pork chops, baby back ribs, and an array of imported and domestic cheeses, mustards, olive oils, sauces, pastas, or farm-fresh produce. So make this holiday season one to remember with a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market. Stop in or go to AnnieGuns.com. Everyone at Annie Guns and the Smokehouse Market wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
Hey, Thursday, the Carney Show goes to Old House in Hog Hollow in Chesterfield, and I'd love it if you'd join us. I mean, they got great food, they got great wine, wonderful atmosphere, and me being really loud. Julie will be there, of course, being kind and considerate.
Located at 14319 Olive Boulevard in Chesterfield. Celebrate your next event at Old House in Hog Hollow, a beautifully restored historic venue in Chesterfield, Missouri. Perfect for any occasion and exciting public events.
We'll be there noon to 3 on Thursday, but come out to Old House at Hog Hollow anytime.
On the first day of Christmas, 550 give to me.
The Big 550 celebrates the 12 days of Christmas by giving the gifts to you. Each weekday during the event, go to KTRS.com and find the KTRS tab to register for the daily prize, which changes each weekday at midnight. 12 days, 12 prizes. And Heidi Glaus will announce the winner the next day. It's that simple. Be sure to register to win today's prize, a $250 gift certificate from Rawlings and the Rawlings Experience. The 12 Days of Christmas from Bless Jewelers, Yenser Family Dental, Annie Guns and the Smokehouse Market, Rawlings and the Rawlings Experience, C.R. Frank Popcorn, Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas, and the Big 550. KTRS. McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
7:55 here, Big 550 KTRS. We'll check in with Randy Carricker next hour, talk about the Blues, what's going on in these winter meetings, what are the Cardinals doing, what about Brendan Donovan, all that coming up in a bit. But we know, listen to this story, we know that the Big Ten has explored some type of deal with hedge funds and private equity firms. The only reason why they haven't gotten into bed is because Michigan and USC are like, wait a minute, I'm not so sure we want to team up with these hedge funds. The Big Ten. Now, the problem is that the Big Ten has all the money. And places like Utah has a hard time, University of Utah has a hard time competing because now the schools have to divvy up $20 million a year to the football players as part of this lawsuit that they settled, okay? So it's easy for Michigan to come up with $20 million a year to pay the students or to pay the team, but not necessarily Utah. So Utah has announced that their athletic department has just agreed to be taken over by a private equity firm. Yes, terms have not been disclosed, but the University of Utah has now partnered with Arthro Capital, which will have an ownership stake in a new for-profit business to fund the University of Utah's athletics, and their main goal is to increase revenue. It's the first of its kind in what people are saying is not going to be the last. It obviously comes with risks. The terms are still to be finalized, but it has received unanimous approval from the university's Board of Trustees. The Utah administrators billed it as a 9-figure venue that could stabilize the Utes during a period of college upheaval. So wait for a private equity firm to buy the University of Missouri's sports program?
This is the athletic or the physical. What department is this?
They're going to they've cut a deal, everything from tickets to souvenirs to hot dogs to TV rights to everything. It's now in partnership with a private equity firm. The private equity firm bought into it. It's a private, for-profit business that now has a deal with the University of Utah's athletic department.
So are they going to be providing scholarship money as well?
Stay tuned. But private equity now getting into owning athletic departments at colleges. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Real quick, here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, the latest is an accident on 270 south at Olive with the stop and go back up to Page. And there's an accident on 270 west at Lindbergh causing a short back up to 170. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
By the way, it is going to be windy today. Hold on to your hat. Hold on to your bonnet. It's going to be windy today, high of 51. No rain, no snow, but plenty of wind. 43 right now. It is officially 8 o'clock. KTRS, St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump's rally in Pennsylvania last night started off talking about affordability. He blamed the previous administration for inflation.
They gave you high prices. They gave you the highest inflation in history, and we're bringing those prices down rapidly. Lower prices, bigger paychecks.
That discussion didn't last long, however. ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce says the president's speech then veered off.
The president launching into vicious attacks against Somali immigrants, calling them lazy and garbage, and continuing to go after Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, who is a naturalized U.S. citizen. The president rousing the crowd with demands she leave the country. Trump then veering into an anti-immigrant tirade.
President Trump reiterating that he wants immigrants to come from Norway, not, in his words, filthy, dirty, disgusting places. The winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, has not been seen in public in 11 months and did not make today's ceremony. Her daughter, accepting on her behalf, says she is safe and still working against the Maduro government.
During the past 16 months in clandestinity, we have built new networks of civic pressure and disciplined disobedience, preparing for Venezuela's orderly transition to democracy.
Australia kicking kids under age 16 off all social media. Here's ABC's Hannah Battah.
Australia's government says the ban will protect young people's mental health, citing research linking heavy social media use to bullying and body image issues. Some experts say the law will shield kids from these harms and force platforms to adopt stronger protections. Others insist a blanket ban is not the solution.
Ukrainian officials will hand their latest peace proposal to U.S. negotiators. President Zelensky says presidential elections could be held within 3 months. This is ABC News.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. Solid as rock.
Dry winter air creeping into your home already? You're not imagining it. Your furnace and your air quality are working harder than you think. That's why Aldon is offering a $79 furnace safety inspection for new customers to keep your system running strong, and $100 off a whole home humidifier to help you breathe easier all season long. And if your system's showing its age, ask about the ultra-efficient Daikin Fit system. Compact, quiet, and designed for true comfort.
Eldon, indoor air quality specialist. Comfort you can count on, family you can trust.
When it comes to AI, there's something big happening. The smallest things are creating giant revolutions. At Worldwide Technology, we're at the forefront of AI. With our one-of-a-kind AI Proving Ground, Cyber Range, and full-stack approach, you can build, test, protect, and implement AI solutions that deliver for you and your customers in a big way. Worldwide Technology. Together, let's make a new world happen.
This holiday season, I feel like Manchester Road, just west of 141, is just one of the fantastic spots in St. Louis you need to be. Marketplace at the Abbey has everything to make your home feel like Santa's workshop. All kinds of wonderful gifts for people. Also, there's the Abby Baby and then the Abby's Ladies Clothing section. So many gift ideas, so many wonderful things that have already been curated by Laura Wilson, the owner. You can always go online too, marketplace at theabbey.com.
45 degrees at 8:04. Here's what's happening now. The St. Louis County Council has delayed a vote on the 2026 budget with only one meeting left this year to get it passed. Council members remain at odds with County Executive Dr. Sam Page on how to address an $80 million budget deficit. The council is considering cuts to several key departments, while Page wants to use the RAM settlement money to fill short-term gaps. If a budget is not approved by the end of the year, the county will apply the January 2025 budget to the January 2026. A Maryland Heights man is in custody following a shooting last week that left a woman paralyzed. Maryland Heights police say in a probable cause statement that 29-year-old Chris Carpunky admitted he shot the female victim while she was restrained on a bed with heavy-duty tape. Carpunky has been charged with second-degree domestic assault and armed criminal action. He is being held on a $150,000 bond. The St. Charles County Ambulance District is mourning the loss of one of its own. Lieutenant Sarah McCarthy died Tuesday, 2.5 weeks after suffering a medical emergency while on duty. McCarthy, a 23-year veteran of the department, was working at the St. Peter's Ambulance Station on November 21st when she suffered chest pains and was transported by ambulance to Missouri Baptist Hospital. McCarthy underwent emergency surgery that day but suffered a setback last Thursday and was transferred to Barnes Jewish Hospital, where she passed away. McCarthy has donated her organs via Mid-America Transplant. Funeral arrangements are pending. Illinois' winter weather rule is in effect. Through March 31st, utilities are banned from disconnecting eligible customers who use electric or gas as their primary source of home heating. The cold weather rule also protects residential customers from disconnections when temperatures are forecasted to be at or below 32 degrees and on days preceding holidays and weekends when the forecast is expected to drop to freezing. The rule excludes disconnections related to theft, tampering, or safety. The St. Louis Sports Commission is calling on local businesses to help promote next month's U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
St. Louis takes the national stage from January 4th through 11th when the championships are held here. And Mark Schreiber says the commission is now looking for hotels, restaurants, retailers, and other businesses to help roll out the red carpet for visitors by offering special promotions and fan-focused activities during the week that showcase St. Louis.
We'll have extensive national coverage on NBC and Peacock, showcasing St. Louis in a wonderful light. We'll have that unique chance to see the most talented athletes from the most popular Winter Olympic sport compete right in front of us.
Local businesses and organizations have until December the 19th to submit. The St. Louis Sports Commission says the idea is to create an unforgettable week and make St. Louis a standout host city. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Currently 45 degrees at 8:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hey, some sad news. Madeline Wickham passed away at the age of 55. Now you ask, who is Madeline Wickham? Madeline Wickham is the real name of Sophie Kinsella. Sophie Kinsella wrote Confessions of a Shopaholic. She passes away at the age of 55. Yeah, one of the number of I don't like to use this term, but they use it in the publishing world, chick lit. She was chick lit, if you will, and they turned the Shopaholic. Apparently, there were 9 of them when it was all said and done. The first one she wrote in 1999. She used a fake name because she knew it was going to flop. And she never wanted to be associated with such a commercial disaster because she loved writing. Mm-hmm. So she writes Confessions of a Shopaholic in 1999 and makes up the name Sophie Kinsella. It was far from a flop. It was an international bestseller, turned into a movie starring Ira Fisher. And then they made another one, Can You Keep a Secret, starring Alexandria Daddario. So Confessions of a Shopaholic was a thing, a big thing. But Sophie Kinsella passes away of brain cancer at the age of 55. Yeah, really sad. 8:09 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's see here. This hour, We've got Caleb Silver is going to be joining us. The Federal Reserve is getting very close to lowering the interest rate again. They signaled it was going to pause last time they met, but things have changed. It's a fluid situation, as they like to say. And so it's looking like they might cut it again today. We'll check in with Caleb Silver. What does that mean? What is this argument about the economy? We'll get into that with Caleb, who's a great insight into all this stuff. Also, Randy Carricker is going to join us. The winter meetings are going on, and not a lot of news coming out of Cardinal camp. A lot of rumors, no real news. We'll get into that with Randy. Mark Miller from Miller Furniture. Emma Clues from Great Rivers Greenway. And phone calls in the 9 o'clock hour. So there you go.
It's a show.
Oh, it's a show. Oh, it's a show, all right. Oh, yes. Did you know that this Netflix and Paramount buying Warner Brothers story, that we're talking about private equity firms and hedge funds and these this global wealth fund coming out of Saudi Arabia is going to be part of the financing for this Paramount deal? Now, what's interesting about this is there are rules against foreign ownership of media entities, and they have been loosened somewhat in the last number of years. But at one point, I believe it was strictly if you were a foreign company, you could not own a radio station. You couldn't own a TV station. You couldn't own anything like that because, for obvious reasons. They've relaxed those rules somewhat so you can be part owner but not full owner, right? So, Russia couldn't buy NBC, for example, right?
Or a Russian company.
Or a Russian company, yeah. And so, which is funny because, right, China runs TikTok, and people are arguing like that's okay, but whatever.
And Rupert Murdoch owns Fox.
Yeah, right, I know. Well, Fox is, anyway. So now Saudi Arabia wants to use, or Paramount wants to use the money from Saudi Arabia in a partnership from this global wealth sovereign fund from Saudi Arabia to buy Warner Brothers, which is, right, a massive entertainment complex that will make movies for Americans to see and shape what we like and who we watch and the stories right? I mean, who's going to own the right to tell America those stories? It's kind of interesting, right? So to get around the regulatory approval, because it would need regulatory approval, another level of regulatory approval, because they're using this Saudi sovereign wealth fund, the Saudis have said that we're going to give you the money to buy Warner Brothers, but we don't want any ownership or any say or any board seats or anything. We'll just give you the money, Paramount, to buy Warner Brothers, okay? That way, they don't have to go through any type of extra regulatory approval as being a foreign entity because they don't have any sway over the company. So you ask yourself, why would Saudi Arabia and their wealth fund give a company billions of dollars and have no say or influence or anything when it comes to running the company? That's weird. Why would Saudi Arabia do that? Yeah. Wrap your brain around that one. I'm going to give you, right? Normally when you go into partnership with somebody, he's like, let's buy a business. Okay, I'll give you half. Okay, I'll own half.
Yeah.
I'll own 20%. I'll own 30%. This one, they're giving Paramount billions of dollars to buy Warner Brothers.
On Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful just doesn't give you anything for nothing.
Right. And they don't want they want no ownership, no say, no board seats, Nothing.
I mean, are we supposed to believe that, or that's just what they're telling us to get through it?
They would have to do that to gain regulatory approval. They would have to, like in the paperwork, they don't get any seats, they don't have any shares, they don't have any say. They're just.
Right. But then it just seems like that paperwork and then the other paperwork.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is where they're technically pulling all the strings.
Where's the handshake agreement? Who just arbitrarily gives you $20 billion or $30 billion or $50 billion and says, I don't want anything for it? It's even more foul now.
Well, no, is it like a loan? They don't. So, like, are they eventually going to pay it back?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. But I'm just talking about how to get it passed by the regulators, because you're not supposed to buy a media company if you are a foreign entity. And there are limits as to how much you can own. And no matter what you own, you have to go through a regulatory process. But if you don't own it, Paramount can say they don't own it. I just got the money from them. They don't own it, so we don't need to worry about ownership or anything else because they don't own any of it.
Well, the regulatory will be taken care of by the other partner.
Well,
the other partner.
Yes, Jared Kushner will just call up his father-in-law and be like, hey, sign off on this thing. But according to the experts say Trump doesn't necessarily have that power until the Supreme Court decides he does. But the way it works now, before Trump decides to change it, he apparently has a lot of power in this, but doesn't necessarily have the power to sort of sign off on the deal. We'll wait and see what happens. But that is a weird story in which Saudi Arabia and their sovereign wealth fund is now giving the money to buy Paramount, but doesn't want anything in return.
How much is in this fund?
Oh, billions.
Like, right?
Billions. Stupid billions. Yeah. 8:16 here at Big 550 KTRS. Let's check in with Captain Paul Kopsky. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. The latest is a crash on 70 East before Zumbel with a stop and go back up to Cave Springs. Estimated clearance time is 8:50. There's an accident on 270 West at Lindbergh, blocking the two left lanes and causing a short back up to 170. The estimated clearance time there is 8:35. 270 North is heavy from Tesson Ferry to Manchester with a drive time in that stretch of 15 minutes. 55 North is a little slow at Bayless. 64 East bogs down at 170. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and 158, causing slowdowns. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've issued a First Alert weather day for Wednesday due to strong winds, and the strongest winds will be in the morning. We have an wind advisory out from 3 a.m. to noon. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, especially tie down those holiday decorations or bring them on in. Now, it's also going to bring in the cold air. Temperatures around 40 in the morning, fall quickly in the morning into the 30s, and then 30s in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy, windy, and a cold day Wednesday. Thursday, the chill settles in, a high of 39 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Stuart, it's Stuart's American Mortgage. He was on the show last week telling us that the Fed might lower interest rates, but that doesn't mean, right, the prime rate, but that doesn't mean interest rates are going down. That doesn't mean that at all. Stuart has his finger on this stuff every single day. This is what he does. And so you want to lock in before it goes up. If it goes down, great. You can lock in again. But if you lock in now and it goes up, you've locked in. Let's call Stuart. He'll run the numbers for you. And look, when it comes to refinancing, here's the deal. Stuart won't charge you anything when it comes to fees. So if it makes sense to lower your interest rate and to lock in a lower rate and refinance your house, anything over $200,000, no fees, and then so you get a lower monthly mortgage payment. If it goes down again in 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is, you refinance again. But you lock in those savings. It's not going to cost you anything. He's not going to add anything to your principal because it's the bagel loan. And on top of that, he's going to give you an extra $500. What? Yeah. So he's going to give you $500 to lower your monthly mortgage payment. and add nothing to your principal. Pretty good deal? Yeah, I'd call Stewart. 314-324-4440. Tell all my friends, tell everybody who'll listen. Call Stewart, whether you're buying a home or refinancing. He's your go-to. Stewart'sAMC.com.
Since 1950, Flanagan Paint and Supply is a St. Louis paint company that has been providing the homeowner and professional painters with top quality products, competitive prices, and to be the leading paint company for architectural, commercial, and industrial coatings. With experts in paints and stains and other custom home products on staff, Flanagan's has your resources to be your one-stop for style. With locations in Ellisville, Webster Groves, St. Peters, Edwardsville, and Wentzville, there's a Flanagan's Paint and Supply near you. Online at FlanaganPaint.com.
Hey, did you know you can borrow a telescope or a fishing pole from St. Louis County Library? It's true. St. Louis County Library's Library of Things is a unique collection of non-traditional library items, including musical instruments, GoPro cameras, binoculars, pickleball equipment, games, portable projectors, and more. It's perfect for a one-time project or to try an item before you buy it. So explore the collection and discover your next new thing to borrow. Learn more at slcl.org.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Missy Mo.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's get right to it. Caleb Silver joins us. He's our go-to ABC News contributor, editor-in-chief. Caleb, last time we talked, the last time the Fed spoke, they sort of insinuated they weren't going to cut rates in December. What changed?
Well, we've seen a softening in the labor market, and even though we're getting these delayed jobs reports from the federal government, we'll be getting private payroll reports, and that shows a slowdown in hiring. In fact, small businesses laying off workers, and even the big public companies announcing some layoffs. So the Fed is in this balancing act right now between a slowing labor market and inflation that's right around 3%. That's why it'll probably do this baby cut of a quarter point today, and then we'll see what happens into the first quarter of next year.
So a lot of people are saying even if he cuts the rate today, the 10-year Treasury might not respond in kind.
Yeah, the 10-year Treasury is really more reflective of investors' confidence in the economic outlook. And even though the economy is not sort of headed towards a recession, there are some signs of slowdown in some places. And when you look at consumer spending, even though we're expected to spend a record $1.1 trillion this holiday shopping season, consumers feel pretty dour about the economy right now, and we're starting to see a spend down there and among enterprises as well.
But even with the reduction in the interest rate, the desired result might not happen, right? So, I mean, what good is it if he cuts the rate if the bonds still go up?
Yeah, well, the point of cutting interest rates is to stimulate the economy, make money cheaper to borrow, and that might stimulate more hiring and more demand among consumers and businesses. That's the hope, but it also triggers inflation. So that's the thing. You can't lower rates too quickly. And rates, at around 3 3/4 right now are relatively low when you think about history, even though we're used to lower rates given all the crises we've had over the last couple of decades. So they've been okay. The stock market's done reasonably well, and savers have done well because they've been getting 4 or 5% in the bank, and those days are numbered as well.
Yeah, so the question is, are jobs being lost because of the economy and the small businesses are saying we don't want to hire? They're not hiring, they're firing, or is AI getting rid of these things in which the interest rates have no effect on whatsoever?
Yeah, well, it's a combination of a lot of things. Companies are looking for more efficiency, right? Better profit margins, and that comes through more productivity. I mean, that means less workers in some cases, but also companies, especially the big public companies, hired very aggressively coming out of the pandemic, and they've staffed their workforces up to a great degree, and they've been sort of releasing some of those jobs right now to improve their profit margins. One of the most important metrics right now in the stock market is revenue per employee, and that means productivity out of your workforce. In that case, in some cases, that means laying off workers. We've heard it from companies like Verizon and UPS and Amazon and others. They are shedding, especially the white-collar workforce, and we haven't seen a lot of job growth in the manufacturing and transportation sectors yet. That has not yet taken place.
The Fed seems to be, if you read the tea leaves, split on this. Does that mean anything, that there's not unanimous consent among the board members?
No, I mean, we should be used to that, and we know that the Fed will see a new chair come next May. The president saying he may even announce his candidate for the next Fed chair as of Christmas. So we know it's going to be what we call a more dovish Fed. That means they're going to be much more likely to keep rates lower because they think that stimulates the economy, but it also lowers the amount we have to pay on our interest payment on our national debt, which is $33 trillion and climbing. So there's lots of reasons they want lower interest rates, and that's going to be the trend over the next year or so. If you look at what we'll get today from the summary of economic projections and the Fed's dot plot, the most important yet the most boring chart in economics right now, it's going to show that the Fed wants rates to be lower, about a percentage point lower by this point next year.
Okay, but everyone's been screaming about inflation, and even though it's elevated, I don't think it's as bad as what they anticipated. So what happened? Inflation's still up there. A lot of things have nothing to do with the tariffs, but some things do. So where are we on inflation?
Well, if you look at the the headline number, that's around 3%, much lower than it was a few years ago when it was hovering over 8%. So it is lower, but still that's higher than the Fed likes it. And people don't think about 3% when they go to the grocery store. They think, why is a pack of chicken right now $25? Why is my grocery bill $300? Over the last several months when it used to be $270 or $260. So that's the way people feel it. That affordability crisis is what's driving people, to these extremes and making them feel so negative about the economy, because prices are going up everywhere we look, maybe except for the gas station. And when you look at heating prices, when you look at insurance prices, that's the affordability problem. That's the inflation that people feel, despite what the 3% number might say from the CPI.
Yeah, also throw in housing and rents and everything else. Caleb Silver, ABC News contributor, editor-in-chief of Investopedia, our go-to guy. Caleb, great stuff. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
827, Big 550 KTRS. Look, you're planning on having a little family get-together, and you've been eyeing a summer home or thinking about a getaway for the weekend, but you think, I don't want to spend 4 hours in a car. I don't have to get to the airport. I don't want to have to fly somewhere. Innsbruck is just 45 minutes away from St. Louis, depending on where you are. You can take 70, or I like to take the moon route, the sort of back way, the M, the double O, and the N. You can take yourself right into Innsbruck. It's now considered a town. They've incorporated. And once you cross over into Innsbruck, 7,000 plus acres, hundreds of lakes, beautiful trails, championship golf courses. You don't see a beer can, a soda can, a wrapper, a Doritos bag, nothing. Pristine, beautiful, gorgeous. 45 minutes away. And now they're opening up Lake Summer Vogel. What does that mean? For a limited time between now and the end of the year, you only got a couple of days to act on this, $30,000 off the sale price of prime lakefront lots of Summer Vogel. They've got plenty of lots. They've got plenty of lakes. This is the newest lake they're opening up. It's a gorgeous vista right there in Innsbruck, 45 minutes away. If you're interested, you got to act fast. Innsbruck-resort.com. Been around a long time. Well-respected, well-trusted. A wonderful, wonderful playground for you, the family, for the kids, for everybody. Lake Summer Vogel, $30,000 off the sale price of lakefront lots. Find out more at Innsbruck-resort.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, debris from a tractor trailer is blocking the two left lanes of 70 West before Zumbel. Only one lane is getting through, and it's causing a stop and go back up to 94. MoDOT crews are working to clear that debris. Elsewhere, 270 North is heavy from Tesson Ferry to Manchester, with a drive time in that stretch of highway of 15 minutes. 55 North is a little slow at Bayless. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and 158, causing slowdowns. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Walter Noah Florist, WKF.com. WKF.com. We've got Garland, we got poinsettias, or poinsettias, depending on how you want to name the ambassador to Mexico who brought him back. Walter Noel has them, and Christmas flowers, nothing more important. Centerpieces. Kids are now getting ready for the finals. They're in that final push before the end of the semester. How about a nice little care package? Walter Noel, been around a long time. They've handled a lot of holidays, and they're your go-to. All they ask is that you give them a chance. It's a St. Louis company that's been here since the 1880s. You want great flowers, you want a great price, you want a great company. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Walter Noel checks all the boxes. 1-800-341-ROSE. Let Walter Noel be your family florist. Let's go to the newsroom. Speaking of roses, here's Rose Dalton.
Ukrainian officials are expected to present new peace proposals to U.S. negotiators Wednesday. President Volodymyr Zelensky says this comes ahead of urgent talks on Thursday with leaders from about 30 countries supporting Ukraine's efforts to end Russia's nearly 4-year-old full-scale invasion. Zelensky has expressed readiness to hold a presidential election within 3 months if safety and legal conditions are met. This follows comments from U.S. President Donald Trump that questioned Ukraine's democracy. President Donald Trump says his tariffs have brought in trillions of dollars to the U.S. and pushed companies to invest in the country. He touted his economic agenda when he kicked off a national tour in Pennsylvania yesterday. Polls show Americans say affordability is out of control, and a majority of voters are starting to blame Trump. In local headlines, 2 duck hunters are safe after their boat capsized on the Mississippi River this morning near West Alton. The Missouri Highway Patrol says St. Charles County Police requested assistance after hearing reports of the capsized boat on the river near the Lincoln Shields Recreation Area northwest of the Clark Bridge. No injuries were reported in the incident. Former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan is asking President Trump for a pardon of his federal corruption conviction. Madigan recently filed a clemency petition with the Office of the Pardon Attorney. The Chicago native is currently serving a 7.5-year sentence in federal prison after being convicted earlier this year on charges of conspiracy, wire fraud, and bribery. 45 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hey, Thursday, the Carney Show goes to Old House in Hog Hollow in Chesterfield, and I'd love it if you'd join us. I mean, they got great food, they got great wine, wonderful atmosphere, and me being really loud. Julie will be there, of course, being kind and considerate.
Located at 14319 Olive Boulevard in Chesterfield. Celebrate your next event at Old House in Hog Hollow, a beautifully restored historic venue in Chesterfield, Missouri. Perfect for any occasion and exciting public events.
We'll be there noon to 3 on Thursday, but come out to Old House at Hog Hollow anytime.
I'm Jill Farmer for TB Exteriors, your choice for professional roofing, gutter, siding, and windows in the St. Louis metro area. They'll help you with your roofing insurance claims for residential or commercial roofs. They're CertainTeed Select Shingle Masters and offer the highest level warranties. Right now, mention KTRS and get $500 off a full roof replacement. Call TB Exteriors at 636-362-9503 or visit tbexteriorsmo.com to schedule a free estimate.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
This holiday season, be sure to check out the all-new Rollins Experience in Westport Plaza. Featuring the iconic brand's full line of ball gloves, bats, protective gear, apparel, and more. The Rollins Experience has a stacked lineup of gifts for all the baseball and softball athletes on your shopping list. Visitors can also experience the past, present, and future of gloves in the Rollins Glove Vault. Design their very own custom glove like the pros, or take cuts in the Rollins Hit Lab with the latest high-performance bats. Join those deemed the finest in the field and visit the Rollins Experience today.
A weekend at home or a weekend RVing? Staring at your neighbor's security lights or counting stars? Watching the Travel Channel or sitting around the campfire with friends? Break away. Get out of town in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Thomas! St. Louis Ambush Indoor Soccer returns to the Family Arena this Sunday at 3:05 p.m. to battle the Milwaukee Wave and its Superhero and Princess Knight with a promotional t-shirt giveaway.
Spins it in!
Make your plans to catch all the end-to-end action as your ambush battle the Milwaukee Wave. A youth soccer clinic before the game and a post-game autograph session following the game. Tickets available at the Family Arena box office or at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, go to stlambush.com.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty, powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Call the closer at a special time this Saturday at 2 p.m. on the Big 550.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's check in with Randy Carricker. Randy, let's we'll go to the baseball meetings here in a second. But Blues, we're on a two-game win streak, and I was hoping it had to be 3 in a row. What happened last night?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, you were playing a pretty decent team. And the other part of it is, and I think that Curbs and Joey made this point on the TV broadcast, is when you have this many players out, when you're missing people like Walker and Jimmy Snuggerud and Toropchenko, eventually it's going to catch up to you. The analogy that I use is if you've got a flat tire in your car and you drive for a couple of days with a spare tire, you can get by. But if you try to drive for 3 weeks on a spare tire, eventually it's going to catch up to you. And I think that's what's happening with the Blues with all these injuries is they're using a lot of spare tires, and it's just not working for them.
They got to swing by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, get those tires rotated and fix all that stuff. Yes. They'll be good to go.
There you go. And he and his staff, they do an amazing job, don't they?
Yes, they do. All right, let's talk winter meetings. Let's talk Kyle Schwarber. He's 32, 33, 5-year deal, $150 million. That's a lot of money for a DH.
All right, let's start with this. Because we don't have pennies anymore, do we have to say the Cardinals and the Guardians are counting nickels? Because they used to pinch pennies. Now they have to pinch nickels. Here's the thing. Teams like Philadelphia, teams like the Dodgers, teams like the Yankees and the Mets, even the Cubs, even though they don't act that way, they don't have to worry about how much money they spend. So the Phillies can have a 36 or 37-year-old declining Kyle Schwarber and not worry about having to pay him. The Yankees are in that situation now with Stanton. They're paying him a huge sum of money and not getting nearly as much out of him as his salary would indicate that they should. But they can afford to make those mistakes because they can go out and buy other players. Same thing with the Dodgers in signing Edwin Diaz to his big contract, 3 years, $69 million. The Cardinals, if they sign a 32-year-old guy to a contract worth $30 million a year, the back end of that, they aren't going to be able to get another player and pay an unlimited amount of money for the replacement. They have to keep playing the declining guy. And that's one of the problems that I think we have with baseball right now is that there are teams, for example, the Cardinals' revenue is like $75 or $100 million short of what the Dodgers' payroll is. And so the Dodgers are making mistakes. The Phillies they can make mistakes that the Cardinals just can't make.
So take me into the Phillies' mindset. Are they saying, look, we'll get Schwarber for 2 years, maybe 3 years, and so the 2 years, it's just a way to sort of spread that money out over a couple of years. We don't think he's going to be good in 5 years, but we want to pay him. We don't want to pay him at all up front. I mean, what's the point here?
The point here is that their owner, John Middleton, is always in win-now mode. They now have 6 players making more than $20 million a year. And he's always going out and he's going to keep his guys or add more guys. They kept Aaron Nola, gave him a big contract. They kept Zach Wheeler, gave him a big contract. Harper is making big money. Even Castellanos, who they don't like that much, is making big money. And they're going to have to go sign another pitcher, too, because they're going to lose Ranger Suarez, but they'll pay big money. And it's all about a person being willing, like John Middleton, to try to win now, and he can break even because they're making great revenue, maybe even make a few bucks. And down the road, they really aren't concerned about that. He says that's a problem for somebody else or that's a problem for another day, but he wants to win in 2026. That's the big thing now is they're willing to sign a player in his prime that won't be in his prime anymore when they're still paying.
All right, Cardinals, Brendan Donovan's name's everywhere. Are you expecting him to be moved in the next couple of hours?
I wouldn't think – well, I don't know about the next couple of hours, but I would think that before spring training – he'll probably get moved. There's a ton of competition for his services. Derek Gould reporting at STLtoday.com, and he told us yesterday on The Fight on Matrix Midwest that there are 15 teams that are interested in Brendan Donovan. I have to believe that at least 2 of them will want to get into a bidding war, but the Cardinals might want to let this play out a little bit and find out exactly who's willing to give the most. But Derek told us that he thinks that somebody's going to be willing to give up a middle-of-the-rotation starting pitcher, a number 3 legitimate major league starting pitcher as part of a package to get Donovan.
Yeah. The Dodgers go and get Edwin Diaz, arguably the best reliever in baseball, but the old adage, no team likes their closer, including me, so a good riddance, Edwin Diaz.
But he takes the best closer intro with him to L.A., does he not? Timmy Trumpet moves to L.A.?
Yes, he does. But the Dodgers, they're in on Struble from the Tigers. Have you heard this rumor now?
Well, the Dodgers will be in on everybody, and the Tigers, Struble might wind up getting a $400 million contract. The Dodgers don't mind paying that. The Tigers can't pay that. So if Struble gets a 10-year deal for $400 million, $40 million a year, which very well could happen, even though he's going to be 29, the Dodgers have unlimited funds. Did I ever tell you, McGraw, that when the Dodgers signed Ohtani before the 2024 season, by the All-Star break of that season, 2024, they had made up the $700 million that they had given him by generating revenue from Asia, specifically from Japan. That they are making so much money from the Asian market that, and they've already got the U.S. market saturated. They're making so much more money than anybody else. It's just unbelievable.
So who cares if you pay him $700 million over 10 years? Right. You're going to make it up in the first 6 months of the contract.
And look at it this way: they're essentially they aren't having to pay for the best player in Ohtani, so they can go out and give Yamamoto $350 million, or they could go out and give a bad closer like Tanner Scott $78 million, or if they needed to re-sign a guy like Tarek Skubal, they could give him $400 million because the revenue streams are just unlimited there.
And when it's all said and done, they won the World Series by an inning, right? I mean, they were 2 strikes away from losing the World Series.
Yeah, that's a great point. That there is a level of randomness in the baseball postseason, but the Dodgers seem to overcome that when they can bring a Yamamoto in pitching on no day's rest, has pitched 3 innings to shut Toronto, one of the best offenses in baseball, out for the last 3 innings. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And credit to the Dodgers. They aren't breaking any rules. They're taking advantage of what's available to them. And if my team did that, I would be really happy about it. So I'm happy for Dodgers fans. And until there is cost certainty, until there's some sort of a salary floor and a salary cap, we're going to keep seeing the Dodgers do this. Their president, Stan Kasten, said, we've heard about this thing called budgets, and we haven't come in contact with it yet. We don't know what ours is.
We'll let you know when we hit it. God love you.
Hey, McGraw, can I bring up one other quick point here?
Sure.
Do you hate the automatic update on the iPhone? I do.
Sounds like you've had iPhone troubles this morning.
Well, no, I woke up to an automatic update, and I just don't like it. I have to figure out new stuff, and I get a bunch of screens that say continue. I just continue. I don't try to learn about it. I don't know why I know why they want to send it to me, but I don't like it.
Do you don't like the glass numbers on your PIN code or whatever it is? Whatever those things they call the glass or whatever?
I do not, and I'm convinced that Apple is doing this to sap my battery so that I have to buy another iPhone, the 17, ASAP, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to wait until the bitter end.
I can't tell because I'm wearing my Meta Ray-Ban augmented reality glasses to look at my iPhone, so I don't really notice the updates. Yeah, crazy stuff. Randy, who's your sponsor?
It's our friends at Dalco McGraw, and they're in the giving mood now during the holiday season, and they've extended their great window offer. You can earn a $600 tax credit on new windows at Dalco. Plus, they've upped the ante to an additional $260 per credit per window for up to 10 of their Elite Series windows. That's up to $3,200 in window credits with Dalco, plus 0% financing for 18 months. The Energy Star tax credit offer is ending. So order your windows today and order by the end of December at the very least to get this deal. Call 314-298-7300 online at DalcoHomeRemodeling.com.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Captain Paul.
McGraw, debris from a tractor trailer is blocking the 2 left lanes of 70 West before Zumbel. 1 lane is getting through with traffic barely moving back past 94 to near 5th Street. MoDOT crews are working to clear that debris. Elsewhere, 270 North is heavy from 44 to 64. 64 East bogs down around 170. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and 158, causing slowdowns. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. Give the gift of savings this holiday season to the young savers on your list with a smart savings account from Neighbors Credit Union. They'll earn 10% APY on the first $1,000 in balances. Visit neighborscu.org for complete details. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We've issued a First Alert Weather Day for Wednesday due to strong winds, and the strongest winds will be in the morning. We have an wind advisory out from 3 a.m. to noon. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, especially tie down those holiday decorations or bring them on in. Now, it's also going to bring in the cold air. Temperatures around 40 in the morning, fall quickly in the morning into the 30s, and then 30s in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy, windy, and a cold day Wednesday. Thursday, the chill settles in, a high of 39 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing, embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. Solid as rock.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Royal Banks of Missouri is proudly reinvesting in its hometown of University City. Their new branch at 8550 Olive Boulevard is now open to serve you. Visit their team in University City to discover how they can help you refresh your finances and invest in your future today. Call 314-212-1500 or go to royalbanksofmo.com for more information. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Hey, Thursday, the Carney Show goes to Old House in Hog Hollow in Chesterfield, and I'd love it if you join us. I mean, they got great food, they got great wine, wonderful atmosphere, and me being really loud. Julie will be there, of course, being kind and considerate.
Located at 14319 Olive Boulevard in Chesterfield. Celebrate your next event at Old House in Hog Hollow, a beautifully restored historic venue in Chesterfield, Missouri. Perfect for any occasion and exciting public events.
We'll be there noon to 3 on Thursday, but come out to Old House at Hog Hollow anytime.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, the reason why our next guest keeps pitching is that he's thinking that with Edwin Diaz getting 3 years at $70 million, maybe somebody will call him to pick up a Major League Baseball contract. Mark Miller, until he gets called by the majors, he, of course, is running Miller Furniture. Good morning, Mark. Welcome back.
Happy to be here, McGraw. Good morning.
You got it. We're having a good time here. What did you just say as we were coming in?
Yeah, just thank you very much for you bring so many customers to our store, including to buy mattresses. In our last promotion, we donated one mattress, or we donated one coat to a child in need for every mattress we sold. And our goal was 100, and we hit it. We hit it on the last day. We made it to 100.
Nice.
So yesterday we had a nice photo op with the Child Advocacy Center in Missouri, as well as we worked with the ones in St. Clair County, And so, yeah, we hit 100, man. That was awesome. So thank you for bringing the customers in for that.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but that's why you shop local and keep it local, because the big apps from all over the world, they're not donating coats to local kids.
That's right.
So,
yeah, it felt great. And man, that really means a lot to the people that work for us, too. Like, they were trying really hard.
So let's talk about mattresses, because you got another deal going on right now. 25% off mattresses?
25% off Chatham & Wells, made right in Springfield, Illinois, local, and also 50% on select floor models. So there's, they're practically brand new. They're in really good condition. They've been there not long at all. They're just coming out with 2026 models. So, select floor models going to be 50% off.
So they have 2026 mattress models?
Yeah, they kind of
just like cars.
They roll it out, not like every year like cars, but every 18, 24 months.
Yeah. All right, good. All right, so you got end of the year clearance sale going on.
We do. There's some incredible deals out there. One of the first ones, Lexington leg table. This is Amish made table. It seats 8, 42 by 72. 2 self-storing leaves. I've got 3 different finishes. $9.99. $9.99 for the table. It seats 8. It's going to last a generation. It's unbelievable. That's one, I think, the best value out there. Also, just think about things that you might need for guests. So sofa sleepers, we have a huge selection of in stock. Plus, I want to roll something out here, and it's called Stand Up with McGraw. For every lift chair, just come in and mention the McGraw Millhaven. You're going to save between $100 and $500 on our lift chairs, and we have 50 plus lift chairs in stock, including some from Flex Steel. I got an amazing deal on. You'll save $500 on the Stewart lift chair. It's an incredible product. Just mention Stand Up with McGraw.
All right, all 4 locations?
All 4 locations in stock, ready to go.
All right, let's say I'd rather use your money than my money. What kind of financing deals can you give me?
12 months, no interest, and you get the discounted sale prices. Now, you can also finance on, say, like a Tempur-Pedic. You can go out to 48 months. And so we have financing for, kind of depends. If you want to finance longer, we just look at the pricing and everything like that, and we make it work for you. So we want to be really easy to do business with. The other thing, Archibald Furniture, made in the United States, made in Ohio, solid wood. They've got a variety of price points. If you buy the bed, you save $100 on the coordinating nightstand, chest, dresser, $100 per piece.
Oh, nice.
So if you buy a bed and 2 nightstands and a chest, you're going to save an additional $300 on the set. It's a great promo.
A lot of people say, I want to buy this. It's going to take you 6 months to make. You got quite a bit of furniture in stock, don't you?
We have millions of dollars of furniture in stock. I believe it was 6, 7. I keep buying, I keep buying more because people sometimes you need it right away.
Yeah.
We do a lot of custom orders. We certainly do that business, but we want to satisfy immediate gratification.
The dining room table I got from you guys with the 2 leaves in the middle, those 2 high to the leaves, you call them?
Yeah, self-storing.
That is so fantastic. You separate it. You don't have to hide them in the hall closet or in the basement or what do I do with those leaves? You hide them under the table. They're right there to go. You close it up. It can't be any easier.
How many times have you dinged up a door or a wall, a drywall with your table leaf when you get it out twice a year?
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
So self-storing leaves, highly recommended.
Way to go. All right. Have you seen the movie Ephus?
No.
Okay. What's going on here?
I gotta see that.
I thought I told you about this movie Ephus.
I like a good baseball movie.
It was up for some awards, right? The St. Louis Film Festival
St. Louis
Awards.
Film Critics nominated for Best Comedy and Best First Feature.
You would be the star of this movie called Ephus.
Yeah, throwing 78-mile-an-hour fastballs.
That's actually the story.
That is the story. It's a story of a park that they're doing away with, and the guys who play on the field want one more game on this field. You would love it. Mark Miller from Miller Furniture. 100 years your family's been selling furniture. Coming up on 100 years?
Coming up on 100. We're planning the party. Any other businesses that were founded in 1927, email me at mark@millerfurniture.com. I'd love to plan some sort of a joint party with some other really cool, St. Louis businesses that are turning 100 soon.
Mark Miller, you're a good man. 4 area locations. Let me do this. The Meadows at Lake St. Louis, Ellisville on Manchester Road. You've got Belleville as the world headquarters, and then Fairview Heights across the street from the mall.
That's right.
Stickley Furnitures, too. Archibald Furniture, you got them all.
We got it all. Made largest selection of American-made furniture in the St. Louis area.
All right, and stand up with McGraw. Buy a lift chair and get a deal. Miller Furniture, Mueller, MillerFurniture.com. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Happy to be here.
How's the wing?
Yeah, I'm ready to go, man.
Go see that movie Ephus, and then call me. Quick check of traffic. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, debris from a tractor trailer is blocking the two left lanes of 70 West before Zumbel. Only one lane is getting through with traffic barely moving back past 94 to near 5th Street. MoDOT crews are working to clear that debris. Elsewhere, 270 North is heavy from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and 158. That's causing slowdowns. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Since 1950, Flanagan Paint and Supply is a St. Louis paint company that has been providing the homeowner and professional painters with top quality products, competitive prices, and to be the leading paint company for architectural, commercial, and industrial coatings. With experts in paints and stains and other custom home products on staff, Flanagan's has your resources to be your one-stop for style. With locations in Ellisville, Webster Groves, St. Peters, Edwardsville, and Wentzville, there's a Flanagan's Paint and Supply near you. Online at FlanaganPaint.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. Mizzou football.
The rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 106.1, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. With poll numbers on his handling of the economy dropping, President Trump held a campaign-style rally last night in Pennsylvania, touting his record on lowering the cost of living. ABC Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce was there.
The president has dismissed concerns about affordability, calling the issue a Democrat hoax and a con job.
They use the word affordability, and that's their only word. They say affordability, and everyone says, oh, that must mean Trump has high prices. No, our prices are coming down tremendously from the highest prices in the history of our country.
But the price of groceries actually up from a year ago, including products impacted by the president's tariffs.
The president also lashed out at reports about his health, calling a story in the New York Times about his stamina failing seditious, possibly even treasonous. Could the former head of Doge and still head of Tesla, the world's richest man, be having regrets about his work for the government?
A year ago, then President-elect Donald Trump tapped Tesla CEO Elon Musk to head the new Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, and Musk seemed to love it.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Until people started vandalizing Teslas in protest. Would he take Trump up on his offer today?
I mean, no, I don't think so.
Musk on the Katie Miller podcast.
Instead of doing Doge, I would have worked on my companies. They wouldn't have been burning the cars.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The U.S. may require some visitors from now on to submit 5 years of social media history, including some from the UK, Japan, and Germany. That, according to a rule posted in the Federal Register today. The daughter of Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado accepted the Nobel Peace Prize on her behalf today. Machado has been in hiding, has not been seen in public for 11 months, but her daughter says she is safe. You're listening to ABC News.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
KTRS and the U.S. Marines are playing Santa for the 2025 Big 550 Toy Drive. Light up the life of a child by dropping off your new unwrapped Toys for Tots donation at the KTRS studios in Westport Plaza Friday, December 12th from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. as we broadcast live all day from the KTRS Toy Drive headquarters.
I hope you get lots of presents.
The Big 550 KTRS Toy Drive is brought to you by Outdoor Living, Legacy Wealth, Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, Spectrum Eyeglass Repair, and the Big 550. KTRS.
Christmas is here again. Ho, 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 ho.
M1 Bank. Banking on a mission through the power of purpose. M1 Bank invests in low-income housing and renewable energy to support communities nationwide while maximizing returns to our local communities. M1 Bank has locations in downtown Clayton, Des Peres, and Creve Coeur, and online at m1bank.net. M1 Bank believes in the mission to help people through the power of purpose. This inspires and propels our community outreach, which is why we are proud to support Light Up Glennon.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
For 6 generations, the name Edwards has stood for unwavering trust in wealth management. At Benjamin F. Edwards, we're fiercely independent and focused on one thing, empowering advisors to put clients first, always. We offer personalized advice, guided by your needs, not ours. We are a relationship business. Discover the difference a truly client-first firm can make. Your wealth journey deserves a true partner. Visit BenjaminFEdwards.com. That's BenjaminFEdwards.com. Member SIPC.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the Talk of St. Louis.
44 degrees at 9:04. I'm Rose Dalton, and here's what's happening now. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department has announced a contract renewal for Chief Robert Tracy. The Board of Commissioners has approved a 3-year deal that will extend Tracy's tenure as chief through 2028. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer released a statement saying, quote, St. Louis has made remarkable progress in public safety with Chief Robert Tracy at the helm of the SLMPD. I have full confidence in Chief Tracy, and I'm grateful for his leadership and look forward to our continued collaboration to make St. Louis safer, end quote. Tracy has served as St. Louis Police Chief since 2022. Opponents of Missouri's new congressional map submitted thousands of petition signatures yesterday calling for a statewide referendum on a redistricting plan backed by President Donald Trump as part of his quest to hold on to a slim Republican majority in next year's elections. Organizers of the petition drive said they turned in more than 300,000 signatures to the Secretary of State's office, well more than the roughly 110,000 needed to suspend the new U.S. House districts from taking effect until a public vote can be held next year. The signatures must still be formally verified by local election authorities and Republican Secretary of State Denny Hoskins. Webster University is now using artificial intelligence to help students figure out what they should choose as a major. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
On Tuesday, Webster issued a press release that they are the first university in the region, and possibly in the country, to offer prospective college students an AI-powered degree navigator, which analyzes their responses to a questionnaire and will then generate a tailored college degree plan for them, identifying the best major, study opportunities, and information on potential career positions and projected salaries. Lisa Blazer, Webster's Vice President of Enrollment Management, says this AI program will revolutionize higher education and will save students both time and money in the long run. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Public libraries in Illinois will soon have opioid overdose reversal agents on hand. The Illinois Department of Public Health added public libraries to the list of locations allowed to let trained staff members administer agents in the event of a suspected overdose on the property. The revised standing order will make it easier for libraries to comply with new provisions of the Illinois Local Library Act, which takes effect on January 1st. And the Federal Reserve could announce an interest rate cut today. While investors anticipate the third rate cut in a row, they'll be even more focused on what Fed Chair Jerome Powell says in his comments following the announcement. Powell could indicate this could be the last expected cut for now, citing current market and inflation conditions. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 on the Big 550. Dow is up 106 points to 47,700. The S&P is down 1 point to 6,900, and the NASDAQ is down 49 points to 23,600. In KTRS Sports, Robert Thomas scored twice, but Boston scored 3 unanswered third-period goals to beat the Blues 5-2 last night at Enterprise Center to snap the Notes' 2-game winning streak. Forward Nick, okay, Carl, I need your help in this name. Bugstad? I want to pronounce it correctly. Bugstad. Thank you. Suffered an upper body injury and is not expected to accompany the team to Nashville for Thursday night's game. 13th ranked Illinois basketball won its Big Ten opener 88-80 over Ohio State in Columbus. Conference play continues for the Illini on Saturday at home when they host Nebraska. And Mizzou football has plenty representation on the SEC coaches' all-conference teams that were announced yesterday. Running back Ahmad Hardy, right tackle Keegan Trost, defensive end Zion Young, and linebacker Josiah Trotter made first-team All-SEC. Meanwhile, left tackle Caden Green and defensive end Damon Wilson were named second-team All-SEC. In KTRS Time Saver traffic, time now to check in with Captain Paul Kopsky in the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
Rose debris from a tractor trailer is blocking the 2 left lanes of 70 West before Zumbel. Only 1 lane is getting through with traffic barely moving back past 94 to near 5th Street. MoDOT crews are working to clear that debris. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and 158 causing slowdowns. This traffic report is brought to you by the Number 2 crew. When your dog makes a mess in the backyard, give our friends at the Number 2 crew a call. They will handle all of your dirty business. Visit them online at no2crew.com. That's no2crew.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, wind advisory is in effect for most of the KTRS listening area today until noon. Sprinkles likely, mixing with flurries after this morning, then gradually ending. Otherwise cloudy with the temps falling to around 36 by 4 p.m. Mostly cloudy skies tonight with low around 25, and tomorrow mostly cloudy with a high near 40. Currently 44 degrees at 9:10. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
It's the ultimate Cardinals weekend. The 29th winter warm-up, January 17th and 18th at Busch Stadium in Ballpark Village. Experience 2 days of non-stop Cardinals excitement, from clubhouse tours and Hall of Fame and museum access to autographs, auctions, memorabilia, and more. Join the fun. Meet your favorite players and support Cardinals Care, helping kids across the community. Admission tickets are on sale now. Visit cardinals.com/WWU to be part of the action.
It's Julie Buck here for AAA Travel. 'Tis the season for the gift of travel. You can do that with our friends at AAA Travel. You know the company, AAA, we all do. We've counted on them in numerous emergency situations, and they've been there time and time again. But did you know that you can travel with AAA? That's right, they will book the entire trip. What a great gift that would be. The gift of travel this holiday season, and you can do it with AAA Travel. Go to AAA.com and click the Travel tab.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com.
Time to play word association. Are you ready?
Yep.
C.R. Frank popcorn.
Oh, gourmet popcorn, tins made to order, caramel corn made with real butter, hand-packed and guaranteed fresh.
Good. Now try while eating some C.R. Frank popcorn.
Is this a Chicago style?
Yes, a sweet and salty blend of caramel and cheese.
And their popcorn tins are unique.
Oh, my turn for the popcorn. C.R. Frank popcorn.
Fun Foods popcorn machines for home theaters.
C.R. Frank popcorn.
5757 North Lindbergh and Hazelwood. Go to crfrankpopcorn.com.
The gift of good taste.
Good news, St. Louis. When it comes to selling your home fast, for cash, and as is, the community has spoken. Robank Properties LLC has just been voted Best of the West by the readers of the West News. Why? Because at Robank Properties, we keep it simple. No repairs, no cleanup, no showings, no waiting on banks. Just a fair cash offer fast. Inherited a property? Facing a move? Tired of being a landlord? Or just ready for a hassle-free sale? Robank Properties is your trusted local buyer. Committed to honesty, transparency, and making the process painless from start to finish. And now, thanks to you, we're officially Best of the West. So if you're thinking about selling, call the team your neighbors voted #1, Robank Properties LLC, cash buyers of homes as is. Visit us online or call today for your no-obligation cash offer at robankproperties.com or call Mike at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Robank Properties LLC, we make selling simple.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for Bishop's Post. It's that time of year again, so make sure to get your reservations at Bishop's Post for Christmas and New Year's Eve. They're filling up for holiday parties too, so get those reservations. Bishop's Post, located in Chesterfield at bishopspost.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$9:16 here, Big 550 KTRS. Great Rivers Greenway. You should all know it. It is one of the great organizations in the region. They're the ones who are building the trails, the bike paths. They're in charge of the brick line. They've done Keener Plaza. They did the Arch. And Emma Clues joins us for a couple minutes from Great Rivers Greenway. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Let's. You got a game you want to teach us to play, or let us about knowing. But give us an update on things around town. How's the brick line coming?
Brick line is cranking. So if y'all have seen the construction on Market Street, it's almost finished.
Between Jefferson and
between Compton on the east or on the west and 22nd Street on the east.
Okay.
So between the soccer stadium and Harris Stowe.
Great. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that whole construction piece is almost finished. We're, just kind of putting up the finishing touches in the next month or two, and we'll have a big party in March.
Yeah. And then that is the beginning of what is going to be a trail from the Arch to Forest Park and from Fairgrounds Park in the north to Tower Grove Park in the south.
And many places in between.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize the transformative aspect of that, because you drive by and now it just looks annoying because why is this street all tore up and what are they doing, and I got to get to work and I'm late to pick up the kid. But when it's all said and done, you'll be able to jog or path or bike or scooter or whatever else through this sort of corridor, which will, in many other cities, has spurred unbelievable economic development.
Absolutely. The return on investment that we've seen with the Atlanta Beltline or the Indianapolis Cultural Trail or the High Line in New York is a huge piece of what's motivating for the Brookline Greenway. But we also have Chris Peoples on our team that's helping to make sure that that's done with the neighborhoods and with the equity in mind along the way.
Yeah.
So thinking about, what do people need?
And it's private, public, tax dollars. It's a combination
local, state,
of all three.
Federal, private, all, you name it. We'll take it. Let's go.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff. Okay. That's just one of the many trails and bike paths and everything else that's sort of out there. And you can go to the website, which is a wonderful website with keen insights from yours truly into the new website, which is where? What's the website?
GreatRiversGreenway.org, or if you want to skip straight to Brookline, you can go brooklinegreenway.org.
There you go. But there is a link from the one website to the other website.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Somebody had a great idea to put that on there.
I can't remember who suggested that.
Okay. What's this game you're talking about?
So we have created a challenge that is essentially putting you in the driver's seat of bringing a greenway to life. So do you have what it takes? Can you bring it to life under budget, on time, and with as much impact as possible for the community? So it's essentially an online interactive game where you go
Sims
through.
Game.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And or like Oregon Trail meets Sims a little bit.
Right.
You go through and make those decisions. How do you want to engage the community? Are you going to do a mailing? Are you going to go door to door? Are you going to have a meeting? Pick your thing. They cost different amounts of money. They take different amounts of time. And then, go through the planning and design. What kind of things are you going to do to this intersection? What kind of things are you going to do, for conservation? Are you going to be doing some habitat restoration along the way? There's a wetland. What are you going to do about that? And so you're making all these decisions while it's tracking time, money, and impact.
Right.
And then then stuff comes up. So sometimes you're presented with decisions, but sometimes, there's a new county council member or there's a new city, mayor on one of the municipalities that you're working with. So there's some decisions and some pop-ups, but essentially you're trying to get all the way through.
So some talk show host someday is upset that the bike path is going through his backyard and makes a stink out of it and the phones start ringing.
Exactly. That's one of the scenarios.
That's one of the scenarios. Any scenarios do you have to worry about the bats and when the bats are going to?
The bats are in there. I knew you would love that. The bats are in there. Absolutely.
It's a real deal because they don't realize, right? There was the brick line or one of the paths you were going to make. Mm-hmm. You had to tear the tree down at a certain time or you had to wait 18 months or something because the bats use the trees to reproduce.
Yeah, so near Cliff Cave Park in South County. So the trees are dead, but the bats are roosting in the dead trees. So we have to wait for their hibernation cycle to change where they go into the cave so that we can then take down a dead tree and replace it with great new trees. So environmentally, it's great, but you got to wait because there's an endangered bat in there. So, you can best laid plans of lining up your construction cycle. You still might have to wait for the bat to wake up.
If you want to listen to the community, you have to listen to the community. And that means everybody, including the people who love the bats.
Yeah, well, and of course we want to do right by the endangered bats.
Right by the bats,
but yes, and that's the kind of thing where, nobody was upset about taking down a dead tree, but we when your environmental assessment, you discover that dead tree is providing habitat, so you have to wait and again they'll find a place as soon as they come back out. It's fine, but you got to wait till the right.
You got to wait till they're wait till they're finished using the tree before you tear it down. Who is this? A software program? Is this off the shelf? How'd you do this?
It's on the
then?
website, so GreatRiversGreenway.org/challenge. So we wanted it to be easy that people could do it on their phone or online. You don't have to download an app or have software or have any kind of special equipment. So it's just a web-based game. We worked with a local company, Graphite Lab, and they helped us. I mean, it took a while, honestly, for us to distill what we do over years and all the decisions into something that you could play in 5-10 minutes, you know, and get the idea of it. So, shout out to all of the folks that really helped to inform the project, but it's cool to let people be in that driver's seat and see how that works.
How long does it take to play the game? Is it 20 minutes? Is it 6 years?
5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
No, you can play in 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, depending on how much thought you're putting into your decisions, right? But you could click through pretty quickly if you wanted to, just to see how it is, or if you really want to kind of.
And then at the end is okay. Great, you have successfully navigated the course. Build your trail. Oh no, you failed. You're over budget, so you're.
Well, it's basically you build the greenway, but you're going to see at the end. Okay, I got it built, but I'm 2 months later than I thought I would be, and I'm I'm faster than I thought I would be, or I'm over budget or under budget, and I made this many impact points for the community. You could get it done quickly and cheaply, but maybe you didn't have a very big impact, right? Or vice versa. And so, there's a million scenarios that you can do, but that's the end result.
Yeah. The other thing, too, about building a bike path, again, I've had this conversation since I've been on the board, on the air, off the air, but you build a pathway, it's a mile, you've got 6 different easements, you got 12 people whose houses it goes behind, 3 people want it, 2 people don't care, 1 guy lives in Florida and hasn't gotten back to you, but you need his approval because you're 12 yards from his sewer or something. I mean, it's then you got to deal with the Spire, and then you got to deal with Ameren, and then the railroads own a piece of this, and you have to go through 7 different towns, and there's 3 mayors in these new towns, but there's a new election in this one. And so to build 1 mile of a bike path, you've got to check all these boxes. It's amazing you've been able to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, even what you just said is like a whole game in and of itself, right? Like,
well,
that's like the whole,
those aren't made up scenarios. Those are all real things that you have to deal with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And we do, we work with the willing. We don't have eminent domain. We're not doing anything to someone. We're not taking their property. So we do need to get that buy-in and have everyone be on board with what we're doing. Luckily in St. Louis, most people want the greenways faster than we can build them. The demand is there. People are excited, but that's still, you got to find that guy who changed his number in Florida, whoever, whatever it is. So the work is complex. It's not necessarily that it's always hard, but it is complicated. And that's part of what we're trying to illustrate with the challenge.
Well, and that's, the big one now is how to get over Highway 40 to go on to Tower Grove, or to go on to Tower Grove Park, right? Because you're heading down 40 on Market or whatever it is, right? And then by Harris Stowe, you're going to go north to Fairgrounds Park. You're going to go south to Tower Grove Park. So you have to get over Highway 40 some way. Do you go over it? Do you go under it?
We're going to go through it.
Do you, right. And, going over it's a lot of money. Going under it's a lot of money. Going through it, you can't stop traffic. So, and where do you do it? And how do you get in? And the exit point and the entrance point. And there's some really smart people putting their heads together trying to figure this out.
Smarter than me, for sure. I just get to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, in that particular instance at Spring Street, so at the edge of the City Foundry, the Spring Street used to go through, go connect from North City to South City. And so that is where 6440 is split. There's the upper deck and the lower deck, and we literally are going to go through, right?
Yeah.
Just like build a bridge that reconnects to the Grand Metrolink station on the other side.
And then once you get over there, then it's relatively smooth sailing, kind of.
I mean, right, on either side. So those barriers are significant, but once you get through them, then it's a little easier to do. Yep.
Yeah, no, crazy stuff. The website's also great because it has a lot of these plans, a lot of futuristic plans, a lot of conversation, things like that, right?
Yes, absolutely. So there's tons of projects up there, both in early stages of planning and engagement that need your input, and then through to design and in construction and updates on that as well. And actually right now we just realized this is the most bridges we've ever had in planning at one time. We have 8 bridges that we're, designing or working on right now. So lots more to come in the next couple of years.
Yeah. St. Charles, you've built those. I guess it was easier to build that bridge over the Page Avenue extension, right? That was a little easier to build those. Those two, talk about those for a second, because that one bridge over the Page Avenue extension connected all sorts of people to all sorts of things. Talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, not only so the trail that comes from Creve Coeur Park, St. Louis County Park built that trail, and then when we get over, we built those bridges over 364 and 94.
Right.
So then you've got all the way, connecting over to Schaefer Park, and then we're extending that Centennial Greenway by sort of upgrading the Spencer Creek Trail, so then going even further north. And that connectivity is huge. I mean, I remember that day when we were putting those bridges in. Obviously, it's the middle of the night, so you disrupt traffic the least. And, you're setting them in place. And immediately, I was really surprised, actually, that it's 2 bridges. There's a little plaza area in the middle of them. And, you think of like who wants to hang out in between 2 interstates, but it's a delightful little spot. One of the first times I went out there were 2 teenagers like writing a song on ukulele together. Like I'm like, this is,
well,
did not get to hang out right here before, and now you're having the best time.
Right. It was inaccessible.
Right.
And now you've built these 2 bridges to connect the one side of the road to the other side of the road, and you've created this sort of park area in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No. And when I heard that the amount of kids who can now ride their bikes to school or ride their bikes to this park because of this bridge over the highways, you're like, oh my goodness, that's transformative. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And even that other piece, like that connects to that Spencer Creek Trail, we did put a counter in before. before, that was an existing trail. We put a counter on it. And then once we connected it with the Greenway, doubled the traffic.
Yeah. And then I know you guys are sort of building all through bush wildlife, all through there, right? The bush, and then everything sort of kind of connects to the Katy Trail. So I do that when I'm on the bike. I use it, get to the Katy Trail, go up and down the Katy Trail, go back up and through St. Charles. I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah, people want as many connections to the Katy as possible, so we try to do that everywhere we can, both on the St. Louis County side and the St. Charles County side, and kind of plug in. But it also helps people make loops, right? So like if you take the Bush Greenway that goes through Missouri Research Park, you could get on the Hamburg Trail, which is a Missouri Department of Conservation, and to the Katy and make a 13-mile loop. So if you're training for a half marathon, that's a pretty good deal. So it's kind of one of those like 1 + 1 = 3, as we connect to these other things.
You also see people walking dogs, people on bikes, people on scooters, people on e-bikes,
wheelchair,
people walking.
stroller.
I mean, these things are jam-packed. So clearly people love them.
They do.
And, you guys are charged with doing them more. Real quick before we let you go, the vote to reauthorize the sales tax is coming up when?
We will have a vote renewal by 2033, so we'll still have to set the exact date. But basically, in 5 to 8 years, we will have a vote renewal opportunity. So no new increase in taxes for anyone, but if people would like to keep it going, it's a renewal opportunity.
And that was how it was originally passed. It was a 10-year, right? You went to the voters passed it 10 years. We'll come back in 10 years to renew it.
In 20, yes, from April of 2013.
Right.
So it's a 20-year renewal. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, the website to find the game and everything else.
GreatRiversGreenway.org/challenge is the game, and everything else is just GreatRiversGreenway.org.
Emma Cluse, good stuff. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
9:30 here, Big 550, KTRS. St. Louis Plaza Gummy Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, debris from a tractor trailer is blocking the 2 left lanes of 70 West before Zumbel. 1 lane is getting through with traffic barely moving back past 94 to near 5th Street. MoDOT crews are working to clear that debris. And in the O'Fallon and Shiloh, Illinois area, there's road work on 64 East between US 50 and 158 causing slowdowns. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Plan your holiday party at the Rack House or stop by for brunch or happy hour. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk about Dents Express because, if you've got dings and dents on your car, can't do anything about your house or anything else, but I can take care of your car. Actually, I can't do it. I barely can drive the car myself, but I can drive it over to Dents Express. You've got peeling paint, scrapes. Somebody put the cart from the grocery store and rammed it into the back. Oh, man. You got some hail damage, maybe some scrapes, maybe somebody keyed your car, one of those ne'er-do-wells keyed your car. Yeah, Dents Express can help you out. How do they do that? Well, I've been there. I've watched them. I don't really know how they do it either, but they do. They've been doing it for 30 years. And since they've been talking here on the Big 550 KTRS, the response from everyone's been fantastic. Everybody loves Dents Express. They'll work with your insurance company. They specialize in paintless dent removal, hail damage, and, of course, the official minor collision, which you and I would call it major. 2 locations, Manchester on Baldwin, or I should say on Manchester in Baldwin, and then St. Charles. Either one works. DentsExpressSTL.com. Make an appointment. Don't just show up. They're too busy. Make an appointment. Power of the Big 550 KTRS. Make an appointment. DentsExpressSTL.com.
Hey, Thursday, the Carney Show goes to Old House in Hog Hollow in Chesterfield, and I'd love it if you'd join us. I mean, they got great food, they got great wine, wonderful atmosphere, and me being really loud. Julie will be there, of course, being kind and considerate.
Located at 14319 Olive Boulevard in Chesterfield. Celebrate your next event at Old House in Hog Hollow, a beautifully restored historic venue in Chesterfield, Missouri. Perfect for any occasion and exciting public events.
We'll be there noon to 3 on Thursday, but come out to Old House at Hog Hollow anytime.
When it comes to AI, there's something big happening. The smallest things are creating giant revolutions. At Worldwide Technology, we're at the forefront of AI. With our one-of-a-kind AI proving ground, cyber range, and full-stack approach, you can build, test, protect, and implement AI solutions that deliver for you and your customers in a big way. Worldwide Technology. Together, let's make a new world happen.
Let's talk about a getaway where you're not spending all the time on the road. How about Innsbruck? Think about it. You could go from your desk to a canoe and do some fishing in about 25, 30 minutes. They've got A-frames, they got tree houses, or if you're looking for a place to live that's away from hustle and bustle, custom homes and condos as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. Have you been out? Have you looked? Go to Innsbruck-resort.com to find your getaway.
Basement with a Y. That's Basement E.
It's Basement T.
Basement E?
It's Basement T.
Oh, Basement T. Basement T. I get it. That's the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts at Woods Basement Systems.
Right. The all things Basement T experts at Woods Basement Systems will provide you a free estimate and dry out that wet basement and fix that cracked foundation. Call 800-388-9326 or go online to woodsbasementsystems.com.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
What do you give the person who's always at their desk? X-Chair. This holiday, give next level comfort with X-Chair ergonomic seating. Dynamic variable lumbar support and SiFloat Infinite Recline has your back. X-Chair elevates work, gaming, projects with everyday comfort. During the X-Chair holiday sale, you can save up to 50% site-wide. Don't wait. These deals won't last. Visit xchair.com and save up to 50% today. That's xchair.com.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
This holiday season, be sure to check out the all-new Rollins Experience in Westport Plaza. Featuring the iconic brand's full line of ball gloves, bats, protective gear, apparel, and more. The Rollins Experience has a stacked lineup of gifts for all the baseball and softball athletes on your shopping list. Visitors can also experience the past, present, and future of gloves in the Rollins Glove Vault. Design their very own custom glove like the pros, or take cuts in the Rollins Hit Lab with the latest high-performance bats. Join those deemed the finest in the field and visit the Rollins Experience today.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day. That's cvshealth.com/investor day.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty.
First day on the market, we had multiple offers. They were definitely on top of things, but we loved working with them. They made it so easy for us.
All you need to know about real estate and more.
I am Lauren Risley. I'm here with my right-hand man, Adam Bundren. You'll be hearing from us a full 1-hour show on all things real estate.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty, powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS.
Call the closer at a special time this Saturday at 2 p.m. on the Big 550.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Country Club Car Wash text line. Thank you so much for the Great Rivers trails all around the area. My husband and I were in Chicago going back years ago, and we wondered when was St. Louis going to end up with the trails. Shortly after that, Great Rivers Greenway came along. I think it's one of the greatest things our area has to offer. I do know this, that they got some great people over there working a lot of hours to make sure these bike paths are done. They're done right. They're done using sensitivity to the environment, to the towns, to people's opinions. All right, they go to the ends of the earth to appease everybody, and that's why it takes so long. Because if you want to listen to the community, you have to listen to everybody in the community. So anyway, yeah, proud to be on that, and I'm so grateful that Steve Ellman put me on that list. I represent St. Charles for the Great Rivers Greenway, right? I represent the taxpayers of St. Charles. Chuck Gross, Bernie Dubray, and I represent St. Charles, and I've known Bernie a couple years. I've known Chuck forever. Two fine citizens who care for the public dollars and have dedicated their lives to great causes. So good people, and proud to be a part of it. All right, let's go to. Let me do this. I tried to say this. I tried to explain this to Rose earlier, and I don't think I did a very good job of it. So let me try and explain this to you again. I want to talk about this Warner Brothers hostile takeover, Netflix buying it, and now possibly Paramount buying Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is, well, it's a movie studio, but it's also HBO. It's also CNN.
Discovery Networks.
Discovery Networks. It's a lot. I mean, it's a big chunk of our entertainment, news and entertainment. And Paramount wants to buy it. Now, hold that for a second. If I say the words Al Jazeera to you, what conjures up in your head Al Jazeera? Right? It is an Arab TV station that has been vilified over the last 20 years because it was Arab-based, Arab-centric, Arab money.
Arab positive,
Arab whitewashing. Some on Fox have called it terror TV, right? They've been pushing Sharia law and, right, all of these things, right? You mentioned Al Jazeera. Oh, very, very negative connotation, right? Qatari funded it. Arab funded it. It was Arab. Al Jazeera, right? I would argue that anybody out there, and you mentioned Al Jazeera, especially those who watch and listen to conservative media and on conservative media, very, very skeptical of Al Jazeera. Anything on Al Jazeera, you looked at it somewhat askew because it was on Al Jazeera. Heaven forbid you took a job at Al Jazeera. You were never allowed back into the American journalistic sort of economy because, well, you've went to work for the quote-unquote other side, right? The Arabs. Okay, Al Jazeera. Got it? Okay, good. Paramount, if this goes through and buys it, is going to own CNN. Okay? Paramount is going to get a large chunk of its money from Qatar, from the United Arab Emirates, from Saudi Arabia. So let me ask you this question. If you didn't want Al Jazeera on your television, are you really going to want Al Jazeera-owned CNN on your television? And what's the difference? If Qatar and the UAE and Saudi Arabia are running Al Jazeera, and they then give a whole bunch of money to Paramount to buy CNN, can somebody explain to me the difference? And where is the outrage? I don't know. Again, it's pretty convoluted, but they have said, these sovereign wealth funds have said that they don't want any involvement at all in running CNN or Paramount if this deal goes through, which is even weirder. I'm going to give you billions of dollars and I don't want to say in anything about the company you're running with my money? Because if they owned it, they would need some type of government regulatory approval. But if they denounce any ownership in it and don't take any ownership in it, then the regulatory process is made easier, which sounds even worse, right? We're going to own it, but we're going to run it, we're going to run it and we're going to run it to the standards of an American company. Okay. Or we're not going to have anything to do with it. We're just going to give you billions of dollars and then you can run it? Where do you get that deal? No strings attached? No soft power anywhere? Just we're going to go after the news and the terrorists as hard as possible with Qatari money? If there's a Qatari terrorist or a Saudi Arabian terrorist, right? Oh, I'm sorry. This channel's funded by Saudi Arabia. Interesting. I don't get it. I don't. Where is the conservative media who is fit to be tied over Al Jazeera? Right? I mean, am I wrong here? Am I not seeing this correctly?
But the Ellisons will be in charge, McGraw, so it'll be okay.
I mean, I just don't. I don't understand where I'm scratching my head. I'm scratching my head over here. I don't get it. I don't get not the crickets. Qatari money, UAE money, and Saudi Arabia is going to buy CNN, and Marco Rubio changes the font in the State Department because it's too woke. Okay. So I guess I don't know. And I'm the liberal. And people call me the liberal. All right. Well, I mean, it makes no sense. We'll take a phone call or two. A couple of text lines, too, if you want to chime in. Text your comments to 84126, 84126. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, somebody was listening last night. I enjoyed the Ryman Auditorium interview last night. Yes, it was a special place. I have a good story for you about my daughter going to see a recording of Patsy Cline's Walking After Midnight there. Really special. I have never been to the Grand Ole Opry. Never been. I'm heartbroken. I got to go this summer. I got to go to Nashville, and I got to go to the Grand Ole Opry. Have you ever been there?
I've been to the building, not to a show.
Okay.
Now, the building, you're amazed that it's still standing.
Yeah.
Because it is
old.
More than 100 years old, and there's still original seats in the place.
Yeah. So WSM is a radio station down in Nashville.
It's on the big mic flag.
And 100 years ago, they apparently had a promotion where they brought in a band and they played country music. And that was the beginning of the Grand Ole Opry.
On the radio.
And so it's been this symbiotic relationship. But do they own the Grand Ole Opry? Or do they, I mean, they don't, it isn't like another radio station can come in and bid on the rights to broadcast the Grand Ole Opry, can they?
But there are actually two. There's the Ryman Auditorium, and then I think the place where they do the big concerts.
But the show on Saturday night, the Grand Ole Opry show that's aired on WSM, it's their radio promotion?
I don't know.
Yeah,
how
it's a weird,
it's a convoluted thing.
Yeah,
now.
But we had on Charlie Mantos on from Nashville last night. Couldn't have been even nicer, and just talked about the history of the Grand Ole Opry, 100 years. Elvis was only played there once, and wasn't very well received. Johnny Cash met June Carter Cash backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. So lots of history, and it's just down the river. All right, let's do this. Let's talk Kevin Lloyd and retirement, because when you're retired, you can do all these sorts of things. Well, that's where Legacy Wealth Advisors comes in. Look, you got to have somebody looking at your future tax liabilities. You need somebody looking at your finances and your investments. But if your investments grow and you're taxed out of the gross, what good is the growth you've gotten from your investments? That's why you need a plan that includes forward-thinking tax strategies to mitigate your taxes. When they tell you, or when you say, how come no one ever told us this? Hello? I'm telling you now. Now you got to start worrying about taxes in 2030. Because if you worried about taxes in 2025, you should have worried about these taxes in 2020. That's why Kevin Lloyd comes up with a true financial plan. He will give you strategies to increase your Social Security tax, lower your taxes on Social Security, lower your taxes overall. It's a full, inclusive, complementary, and inclusive financial plan so you can make an informed decision. That's what you do with Kevin Lloyd. Give him a call. No cost obligation. Call him. Sit down with him. See what he has to say. I think you'll be surprised and shocked at the level of service you get from somebody like Kevin Lloyd. 314-641-1010, 314-641-1010, or the website whenretirementhappens.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing, embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit cantorinjurylaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
A message from the master. If you are looking for that one-of-a-kind gift this year, come on in to Newssetter's Fine Jewelers. Let Richard draw your future present for somebody you love. This special engraving lasts a lifetime. At the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
M1 Bank. Banking on a mission through the power of purpose. M1 Bank invests in low-income housing and renewable energy to support communities nationwide while maximizing returns to our local communities. M1 Bank has locations in downtown Clayton, De Pere, and Creve Coeur, and online at m1bank.net. M1 Bank believes in the mission to help people through the power of purpose. This inspires and propels our community outreach, which is why we are proud to support Light Up Glennon.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter. Need to hire.
right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The final stretch of your career isn't about slowing down. It's about getting strategic. Those last 5 years before retirement can define your financial future, from maximizing contributions and paying off high-interest debt to mapping out health care and testing your post-retirement budget. This is your moment to take control. At Pioneer Wealth Management, we help you connect all the moving parts. Real peace of mind starts long before your final paycheck. Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Pioneer Wealth Management and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated. Life insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
This holiday season, if you're looking to give that special client, friend, or family member a gift they won't forget, then how about a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market? Annie Gunn's St. Louis Magazine Restaurant of the Year continues to deliver irresistible cuisine served by the dedicated and knowledgeable staff in a comfortable and inviting setting. The Smokehouse Market, where you can pick up foods and wines inspired by the richness of country life, offers succulent steaks, pork chops, baby back ribs, and an array of imported and domestic cheeses, mustards, olive oils, sauces, pastas, or farm-fresh produce. So make this holiday season one to remember with a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market. Stop in or go to AnnieGuns.com. Everyone at Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, here we got the Country Club Car Wash text line. Why does the host have such a hard time reading texts? He reads like a second grader with a stutter. Some people don't. Some people voice to text. Other times they come in garbled up. It's hard to read, and sometimes it's tough to read. I have to read it like a second grader, and I do have a stutter, so that's why it sounds like that. From the 512, exactly. Finally, you get it. The Saudi government is funding the media takeover. 314, yes. When I hear Al Jazeera, I think of Middle East and Arab TV. McGraw, the corruption and the stealing is so blatant, I just can't understand. Are we just stupid and don't see it, or care about it, or if Congress is just in the pocket? Like you always said, McGraw, it's Trump's world and we're just living in it. Exactly what is going on in the Middle East, China, India, and purchasing vast amounts of American infrastructure and media. Don't get distracted like the stuff on fonts. Focus on the issues. The fonts are a shiny object that give people something to be mad about when other stuff is going on. Let's see. The text lines are bonkers. Jim on line one. Jim, good morning. Welcome to KTRS.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, this takeover of Warner Brothers has got a President Trump involvement in it with his son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
Yes.
And his dad is a big, I guess, the head of a money thing.
Yeah. Just as long as Hunter Biden's not in on this somewhere. It's fine it's fine if Jared Kushner's in on it, but Hunter Biden better not be anywhere near here.
Yeah, and I just read on Bloomberg that Kushner's dad was convicted of fraud.
Yeah, that's an old story. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Chris Christie was the attorney that put him in jail.
Yeah, well, who pardoned him?
Yeah, I believe President Trump pardoned him. Just as long as he didn't pardon Hunter Biden, right? I mean, that's outrageous that Joe Biden would pardon his son, but it's okay if Trump pardons his son-in-law's dad. Get with the program, Jim. Jim, get with the program.
You're correct. It's Trump's world, and we just live in it.
That is true. Truest thing I ever said on the radio. Jim, thanks for calling. Have a good day. Let's see here. What else we got going? We love KTRS. Where can we find the schedule of programming throughout the day? Look, just lock it in and rip off the knob. That's all you need to know. Go to ktrs.com. There should be a page up there called Schedule. Frank and Jill come your way next. Then you got John Carney and Julie Buck and Heidi and Josh and Bob Ramsey. And then you got Brendan. Brendan. And then you got some new guy taking over America at Night. The book's out on him. I don't know if I like this new guy, but we'll give him a chance. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. Thanks for putting up with me. Have a good day. Frank and Jill come your way next.
Here's a myth. Your furnace doesn't need attention until it breaks. Truth, that's the fastest way to lose heat and gain bills. Since 1959, Aldon's been fixing homes and busting myths. And right now, we're offering a $79 furnace safety inspection for new customers. Because comfort isn't a guess, it's a system. Add healthier air this winter with $100 off a whole home humidifier. And if your system's aging, ask about the ultra-efficient Daikin Fit system. Smaller, smarter, quieter, built for real comfort.
Aldon, indoor air quality specialist. Comfort you can count on, family you can trust.
Feeling sluggish or just not quite yourself? It might be time to optimize your hormones. Heidi here for Premier U, the experts in helping men and women feel their absolute best. Premier U specializes in personalized hormone optimization.